What up, all you sellouts there? Welcome to Super Sellout Podcast episode
10 or X. Episode X. Wow, 2 digits now, man.
We finally made it.
Yeah, man, we got a whole bunch of views on our last video. No one stayed around, but the view count's high, so that's something. So
Just think if we can clickbait up to 500 people, you'll regularly you'll
man.
just win.
Yeah, I'll straight up win.
Yeah.
And eventually, some people will stay and actually watch the videos. Yeah, man, the strategy's working. Strategy's working, man. And today's show, we got some interesting videos to watch. We got a couple of movie trailers, and to start us off with, we've got another video by our man Mark Rober.
This is the brand new Guinness World Record largest ever elephant toothpaste foam experiment. In today's video, which is partially sponsored by LastPass, I'm going to walk you through everything we had to go through to get to this point, as well as some really cool side discoveries.
That's pretty cool there.
In our hundreds of hours of testing along the way. The main ingredient for elephant's toothpaste is hydrogen peroxide. It's the same stuff you pour on a scrape to disinfect it. The thing is,
You know what hydrogen peroxide is usually used for?
No.
It's usually used for bleaching hair. It's a really strong bleaching agent. Yeah, chemical compound H2O2.
I have a joke.
Is the...
Two guys walk into a bar.
I want to tell that joke. Okay.
The first one says, "Hello, barkeep. I'll have a H2O, please." And the barkeep gives it to him. And the second guy goes, "I'll have a H2O too." He died.
Yeah, man. Because peroxide. Yeah. Did you know it was peroxide, or did you just know it was like poisonous?
I knew it was deadly. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a bleaching agent. So yeah.
the bonds that hold the hydrogen and oxygen together
Science.
are pretty weak. So if we poured some of this in...
Oh, we should. Oh yeah, because I guess this is a science video, but we should try to get in on some of those. That's Because Science videos by Kyle Hill.
Here, and just left it for a while, it would keep releasing oxygen, and eventually you'd be left with just water. However, if you add a catalyst like potassium iodide, you can make that slow process happen almost instantly. So that's cool, but we can make it way more impressive if we add one key ingredient: soap. So if we pour this in and then do everything else the same, now when the oxygen
soap's there
is
just for
released,
bubbles.
the soap captures
It doesn't actually do
it,
anything.
creating bubbles and foam. And then finally, if you do all
Wow.
Food coloring and use a flash that tapers like
Yeah.
this, you can focus the expansion of foam so it looks maximum awesome.
I've never seen this experiment done like at school before, but I did not know that using a conical flask, which is one of those flasks,
Yes.
in this way was actually a good way to make it like point straight up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Mentos
So
and
in order
Coke,
to fill
but
a
much
pool
different.
with this
It's
stuff,
basically the same
I
thing.
first got together with some friends and we spent literally hundreds of hours for a few weeks running experiments to calculate the best raw ingredient combinations in addition to brainstorming other cool things we might do with it. And so before we attempted to shatter the current world record,
I swear to God, like, his pool is used for literally anything except for swimming. it's just a big, like, basin to, like, put random chemicals and shit into.
we had an end of summer party with my son and a bunch of family friends where we wanted to share with them the coolest side discoveries from our research.
Like, he's got to be known as, like, his, like, neighborhood's, like, Bill Nye or some shit, right? Just because he's always doing, like, cool videos of, like, random
He
shit.
just invites the whole block over anytime Did he do the Jello pool?
Yeah, he did the
He
Jello
did the
pool,
Jello
yeah.
pool, yeah.
And, like, a whole bunch of other things. So, like, I wonder... So now, like, parents probably trust him enough to just be like, hey, like, okay, cool, bring the kids there. And parents probably watching in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's probably the neighborhood, like, cool, not a real uncle babysitter.
Yeah. But imagine getting up to that point. Just, like, the initial video is like, hey, can his, like, little brothers, like, friends come over? Just
It helps if you've got kids of your own.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, does Timmy want to come over and play?
Oh, it's his cousins or his nieces and nephews, I think he said, yeah.
Yeah.
But first, in true end of summer fashion, we had to knock out some slip and slide kickball.
I didn't know that was a thing, but that seems pretty fun.
Yeah. I used to love kickball, but we called it bootball.
I plan to kick things off by attacking them with an elephant toothpaste gun we made, as revenge for when a bunch of these same kids ambushed me on a recent beach trip, and then offered me
What'd they
some
fry
cookies,
him?
which were just 6 massive cockroaches. And I hate cockroaches. However, As part of our testing, we discovered the reaction is highly exothermic, which means
That means it creates heat.
I can tell by the heat map.
Yeah. The opposite of exothermic is endothermic, which absorbs heat.
it generates heat as a byproduct. If you watch infrared, you'll see the temperature of the foam right after the reaction can reach almost.
What's this
200
Fahrenheit
degrees
shit?
Fahrenheit. So because I'm nice, I shelved my revenge plans and just demonstrated what would have been their fate.
Just him scolding kids.
Take this, you little shits!
And so now that,
That kid walks away with second-degree burns.
We didn't get to do any cool science experiments when I was in school, man.
Oh,
Like
really?
we did that egg one, but like I said last week, I missed it.
The melted unicorn.
Wait, which egg one? Oh, the egg drop one?
The egg
Oh,
drop.
okay.
But my fucking science teacher was enough of an asshole to tell us what cool experiments he got to do.
Okay.
So, have you ever done that one where he gets this big jar and he throws like a little bit of like lithium or something in there and just like slowly goes
An
up?
alkaline, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh look, it like bubbles and fizzes and shit. He reckons, like, he used to go out to the football field with a bucket of water and just like a big fucking like hunk of sodium on the first column.
Yeah. So it's sodium.
And he just like dropped that in, and he would just drop that in there and run away, and it would like blow up really big.
Yeah. Like my science teacher in 9th grade, they did that. He dropped like a sodium block that big into like in the sink in a thing
I
of
was
water.
gonna say cesium, but I realized that
No.
that's way too big.
That's radioactive as well,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, and then so like alkaline metals in water, that's always fun. But here's like there's a tradition at my at the private school that I went to. There's this one teacher that was known for every year, I forget which grade he would do it in, but every year he would always do oh fuck, I forgot what it's called. A thermite reaction. So when he was head of my house as well. So it's like kind of like really up there, and he's like kind of head of science studying. So he's like one of the better science teachers in a private school. So so he told me one day, it's like oh yeah, so it's like I showed the kids a thermite reaction every year. And I'm like, oh, what's thermite? It's like, he told me the chemical compounds of it. I'm like, oh, so it's a firework. It's like, it's more like a bomb. And so the thing is, instead of what you should do, which is light it up with a fuse, so like light a fuse and then run away. Apparently, like he like light it up directly with like a torch or something and then run away. And so it went fine for years, except for the year before I went there. He had an accident and blew off a ton of skin off the back of his hand.
Oh.
And it became like, so after like he was fine, but it became like an ongoing joke that better not blow up your hand and shit like that. It just became a meme. So we did some pretty crazy experiments in my history of science class. But yeah, this like the soap reaction is pretty tame. It's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't eat it.
Yeah, no. Like that's just like straight up a rule. You never eat anything in a lab, even though technically it's safe for you to eat.
I ate fucking cornstarch once.
From the lab?
We were trying to make like goo, you know,
Yeah.
put food coloring through it, and someone dared me to eat it, and I was like, "It's safe, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, you saw what went in it." And I was like, "Okay." The teacher fucking caught me. I got in so much trouble.
Yeah, like
They were pulling me aside for private meetings. They're like, "We understand that it was harmless, but you never eat anything in a science lab."
it's like the reasoning is, even though the chemicals they're using, they might be completely harmless, sometimes there's potential cross contamination in the beakers and shit from like other shit that's clearly fucking poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and it's like, even though it's like, yeah, same with like distilled water, you technically can drink distilled water, but like because it's in a lab, like, yeah, you just don't touch it. Yeah.
Here, aka Science Bob. He's been on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Oh, he's got a real celebrity scientist.
To join me for a very specific reason, which I will address in a bit.
This is really cool how they did this.
Probably really cool because they got the slow-mo.
Yeah, man. But look at... Oh. That's some art there, man.
It kind of looks like one of those spinny things in a playground.
Yeah. What it actually probably is, it's like, you know how they have Chinese restaurants, a little spinny board?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably one of those,
Probably
actually.
just- yeah.
Yeah.
So we are here standing in an empty swimming pool, about to try and break the world record for elephant's toothpaste. You want to tell the good people who owns the current world record, Bob?
I did.
You want to tell the good people who's about to not own the world record, Bob?
Pretty confident, aren't you?
No, I'm
You're an
not.
engineer.
But if everything goes
You're an engineer.
It's exactly like Big Bang Theory.
I know, right?
to quadruple the amount of the current record which you hold. I'm not sure how much of like the trees and neighborhood we're going to cover in the process. Only time will tell.
Foreshadowing.
And chemistry, which I don't understand, but we'll see what we can come up with.
Have you ever been to a foam party?
A foam party?
You've never heard of a foam
What the fuck's a foam party? It
It's
sounds like some weird kinky shit people do at swingers.
no,
events.
it's kind of like
We play Bubble Twister naked.
it's kind of like just like a rave, but like they also have like a foam shooting machine. So
Okay.
yeah, I've never been to one, but I've like seen ads for them, like seen posts and shit from
We
before.
wanted the phone to be safe to play in afterwards, so we used
Just
ordinary baby
anything to get
yeast as
bitches
our
out there, man.
catalyst.
That's
We
what it's all
put 'em on
about.
yeast in big buckets, but it turned out it was cheaper to get them in 1 pound bags.
Oh,
The only downside
economical.
to that is then you have to cut open 180 1 pound bags of yeast. But that's why we have size Bob.
That's a lot of yeast.
Come on out, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
That's Sheldon.
Science Bob. I feel like Science Bob still kind of has like half the record if they break it here.
Oh, like they'll be both like holding the record. That's
Yeah.
what they say at the end, yeah. Because they're both in on this attempt.
System. So if we did our math right, it shouldn't overflow. In the case that it does, we have these tarps here to contain all of the foam from not going everywhere in the yard. So we hope for the best, plan for the worst.
So that's the
These
peroxide, I
are frames
think.
For the tarps that would contain the catalyst yeast solution. So when it was time to fill the pool, we could just cut the tarps and it would pour out. The same way we cut the tarp when we added the bigger Orbeez. And Kevin.
Blech.
Maybe. We're probably like 7 minutes out. Got a bunch of kids inside who are just raring to get out.
Like those kids are locked in there in prison.
Imagine if you did like science experiments at an actual prison. It's like in the backyard swimming pool. Not that there are
yeah.
swimming pools in prisons.
Challenge here is this water's warm. We didn't build these.
They wouldn't let the criminals close to like chemicals though.
Well, if you work in a like, I watched Gordon Ramsay cook in a prison.
Yeah.
He did watch like Gordon Ramsay locked up, and Gordon was so frustrated because it was so hard to get the inmates knives so that they
Oh
could
yeah.
cook. And it like, yeah, it's a no-brainer, but he's like, fuck man, I'm trying to like, you know.
Really, they didn't have knives in the kitchen.
They have them, but they're all like
Locked
locked
up,
away.
yeah,
and they're
and
really
all
hard
checked
to
away and
get
stuff,
to,
yeah.
And it's
Yeah, no
it was
shit,
such a pain
right?
in the ass. Like, yeah, all right, it's a prison, but he was like, you know, I'm trying to fucking rehabilitate these people through, you know, cooking and whatever, and the guards are completely not understanding at all. They're not helping me at all. These aren't people that want to come in and stab another one. Whatever.
You sure, mate?
Yeah.
You work here long enough, people will want to stab you.
It's overflowing. We still have to add the soap, and then we have to add the food coloring.
Clean up on this is gonna be a bitch, man.
Oh, this looks terrifying.
Orbeez would have been real hard too.
Okay, so the thing is with Orbeez, you can just like get rid of them slowly, right? You gotta get rid of this fast because now you have a pool full of yeast. Imagine that smell, the yeast smell.
Oh
man.
yeah, we have buckets underneath the taps at work,
yeah.
and you let them fill up, and you're supposed to empty them at the end of every night. We forget pretty much all the time.
Holy shit, man!
So we'll just be in the middle of a service, and then there's just this trail, this liquid trail,
Oh
just like
fuck,
on the
man,
floor.
that's so bad.
And then I'll look and go, oh fuck, that's coming from the bucket. And so I gotta pick up all these fucking disgusting buckets, pick them up, take the lid off. Oh. But not nearly the worst smell in a pub. Not nearly. And I'm not talking about the toilets, because they are pretty rancid as well. The worst smell you can find in a pub is
let me guess.
time.
Let me guess.
Go
Okay,
for it, go
so it's not the dumpster or the garbage, right?
Pretty bad, but not the worst.
The worst smell. Worst.
And this might be a little bit subjective.
It's like smoking rooms like smells like smoke, but it doesn't. It's not that pungent like fucking hate it smell.
I'll tell you that you're on the right track, but
Something to do with maintenance or cleaning, I'd assume. Oh fucking. Oh wait! It's something to do with spilled beer or some shit, right? With the yeast.
in ashtrays.
Oh, okay.
The mix of beer and cigarette, I'm trying to clean those. Like, I've had people just, like, tip beers into fucking ashtrays.
Yep.
And they reek worse
Wow.
than anything.
Fucking.
Because it enhances that bad cigarette smell. And then it's just...
also
and
yeasty.
It's also the... Yeah. That's really bad. Now, if you put me next to a shit-covered toilet, which I have had to clean in the past... I think vomit's worse than poo.
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way. I've dry heaved trying to clean up vomit in a toilet, but I remember specifically cigarette and beer mixed together being one of the worst smells in the pub.
Good to know. Don't work in a pub.
I think I'm about to get demonetized.
I don't know why he bothered using multiple colours.
Okay.
For the lols.
Soap. This is what will actually make the bubbles. Soap isn't part of the reaction. 2 more soap buckets.
I know he's already teased what would happen, but it would be funny if it was just like...
It
You know,
failed?
you know how someone gets like a big dish of like, and they put Diet Coke in it,
Yeah.
and then they just keep throwing in Mentos,
Yeah.
and it does nothing.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if the same thing
If it
happened
just
here.
failed, yeah.
But we already know it's gonna work because he fucking like teased it straight away.
Well, the simple fact that's on YouTube probably means that it worked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a few final touches, we were ready to go. 3, 2, 1.
That camera shot was good.
Now, before we get the tarps, I want to point out I'm not a chemist. With the physics and engineering problem, I'm way more comfortable understanding the parameters and getting closer to the final solution off the bat. But chemistry is just little molecules I can't see, and it feels a lot like trial and error without any guarantee it will actually scale up predictably. This was feeling like the nightmare of the Jello pool all over again. To get to this point, we had ran over 150 tests, sometimes at great peril.
It just blows up in his crotch.
Oh fuck!
That which we hold dear. And so once again, if this was a total failure, it wouldn't be from lack of effort. Having said all that, here she is. 2, 1, go!
Oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's way too much.
Gotta get that money shot. Just imagine falling in there, like, by accident as it was all going off. You're like, ah, fuck, I'm burning. Just fucking... Holy shit.
Oh. Oh.
So the good news is, we broke the record. The bad news is, we're kind of overachievers. Uh-oh. It's coming up! The Great Tsunami! Hey, hold this.
I wonder if there's, like, a neighbor just looking over the fence. It's like, what bullshit's he doing this weekend?
Oh, we need to grab him.
That Markey boy's at it again. Oh, that Mark feller and his experiments.
Also, imagine it's like you're walking around the pool and like you forgot what a pool is, so you took a one step like too far and you just fucking fall in. And because it's not like water or something, so you just hit the fucking bottom of the
Ow.
pool. Oh, they're doing the smart thing, they're sweeping it
All the
through.
foam back into the pool. That gave time to cool down so we could actually touch it.
Oh, it's gone down heaps.
Yeah, it's not that impressive afterwards. Yeah, this is just like a kid. This is like a kid foam party. Yeah.
Not only did it make the foam look like an alien cocoon, but you could see it travel in infrared because it would expose the much hotter lower layers of foam as it flew around. What do you guys think? Do you think this is gonna float? No! No? Alright, here we go. After all our tests, we perfected the chemistry for this stuff. So if you want to make a home version you can play with, check out Science Bob's website. I'll leave a link in the video description.
Oh my god! That's so bad!
I wonder, are these like the same kids in every video, or like just like a different bunch of
I
kids
feel
or some
like
shit?
that was implied earlier in the
Yeah.
video.
Man, he'd be the coolest uncle.
Alright, Bob. Sorry you're looking at an obsolete piece of material there.
I had it for over a year.
You did have it for over a year, but all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, it's mad, but it was a lot of fun.
Clearly a
That was lot of
photocopy.
fun. And I have good news,
Yeah.
because you are still the world record holder. I'm putting you on there with me, buddy. Oh, yeah. Nerd hug.
Yeah, you'd fucking hope so.
Oh, that's that.
Jelly
Next.
Lego.
Oh no, this is just
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
So much of our lives.
And now it's his ad about LastPass, which is a good service, but I don't use it.
Next
Ooh.
video.
Scams that should be illegal.
This guy's coming to VidCon pretty soon.
Yeah, like
He's down with Jaden Animations and
Jaltoid.
I only know Jaden Animations and
Yeah.
Ego Raptor.
There's a couple of animators coming in.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of sucks because like we went to VidCon that one year on Creator Track and it was really good. There's so many good like talks and stuff. But like I was looking up the lineup for this year, and it looked just really bad. Like from the Creator Track, it's like when we were there were like multiple panels at the same time, so we got to choose ones that were relevant. This year it's just like one panel just the entire time, and like half of them aren't even that relevant. So that's why like I'm not even going. Also, it clashes with. I'm not sure. No, it probably wouldn't. So the first weekend we come back is Madman Anime Festival, and then VidCon's a little bit later. But yeah, I'm not like I don't want to go to VidCon just because there's nothing good on the Creator Track, and Industry Track is like so expensive. Like all the good panels I would want to see are in Industry Track, but that's like fucking $470, so I'm not paying that shit. Unless I'm a student, and then it's like half price. But yeah. And a lot of people have been kind of disappointed about VidCon Australia, and it seems like it's just only going downhill, so I'm not sure how many more years they're going to do it in Australia. But yeah, back to this video.
Twin sister used to share a single Neopet account, which was a dumb decision because it was completely free to make a second Neopet account, and we...
Do you remember Neopets? Might be a little bit too young for you, actually.
I know what Neopets are. I'd never...
Yeah, like, because Neopets was a thing when I was, like, kind of 8 to 12 years old or some shit.
already struggled at sharing things in the non-virtual world. But the reason we co-ran our...
Because, yeah, it's just like a pet simulator. But instead of, like, being in, like, a Java or a Flash window, it was literally a website. So you had to, like, manually click into different pages to go to, like, different places and shit.
When I was a kid, man, I played Club Penguin.
Yeah, no, like, Club Penguin's, like, ideas the same, but, like, but by then it was, like, a proper, like, platform or something. This is, like,
our
oh
Neopet
my God.
account was because we...
Like, to go to different places in the world, there would be an image, and then little parts of the image, like, would be cut out, and they were, like, hyperlinked to a different page, so you'd actually have to click on the image to pretend you're traveling somewhere. That was how ghetto it was, man.
We didn't want to put our pets through a divorce, and because we wanted to save up our Neopoints for a paintbrush. For those of you who grew up with real video games, in Neopets, a paintbrush was a super rare item that would change your Neopet's appearance based off the paintbrush you used. There were Christmas paintbrushes, baby paint...
When you think about it, like, if someone actually tried to paint their pet, that's actually pretty fucking fucked up.
It is, yes.
like,
and I've seen shit like that done before.
yeah, like there's a certain line that where it's kind of okay, I think, where like certain people will like put little highlights on the animal. I think that's kind of a line where it's kind of okay, but like people who like try to
people still don't fucking like it when you do that.
really okay.
Brushes, Guy Fieri paintbrushes, and an invisible paintbrush that just turned your Neopet invisible.
Ooh,
Why? When I said that paintbrushes were a rare item, I meant it. You see, your average Neopet paintbrush would sell for about 1 to 2 million Neopoints, and the most me and my sister had ever saved up was about 100,000. Why did you spend $3K on food? We're trying to get paintbrushes! It was Flower 67's birthday, and you spent $4K getting that stupid jacket! The jacket is cool and you know it! One day, my sister...
like I think about my time playing it, and it's actually really dumb. Like, even though your Neopet does have an affection or a happiness stat, people would like literally go out their way to like put their Neopets in like the massage parlor and shit.
What the fuck?
Just to make it like not even just to get the happiness stat up, just because they're like treating it like a pet.
Oh my god. I think it's...
People got really emotionally attached to those Neopets, man. Not gonna lie, I did a little bit as well.
went searching in the back alleys of the internet for other ways to obtain a paintbrush, and she stumbled upon this website that said, "Get free paintbrushes," and all she had to do was enter in her username and password, and they'd send us a fairy paintbrush. Ooh. And in a moment of desperation, she entered in the login details of our shared account into a shady website.
Back in those days, the internet was the fucking Wild West. There really wasn't this concept online of like, oh yeah, it's just like a bot or it's a shady website, or yeah, there's like, you're not the 1 millionth visitor to this website. You're not going to win $1 million. There are not like hot, sexy singles in your area.
Remember when we went on the internet in the computer lab, and everyone was looking at this bouncing around fucking ad in the corner of the page. Congratulations, you just won $1 million.
Yeah.
And everyone in the lab was just, oh my god, I just won all this money. And my teacher's up the front like, stop, you haven't won anything. Oh.
Like,
she was so annoyed that we were so fucking stupid.
Yeah, like in nowadays, it's just like, it's very clear. It's like all of it's bullshit, all of it's fake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
there
back
aren't
in
hot singles in my area who want to fuck me.
I downloaded Bonzi Buddy.
What's a Bonzi Buddy?
It's like some little animated. Do you remember Clippy from like World of Microsoft Word?
Yeah, I used to change it to the doggy.
Yeah. So it's Bonzi Buddy was this little purple gorilla type thing. Pretty sure it was fucking spyware, but it was like you had to install it to win something, and so like fucking install it something. It was fucking dumb. But yeah, okay, dumb kids back in the day.
This is the same fucking scam that pops up in my email every now and then. For my PayPal account, but it's sort of like,
okay.
I get this scam in my emails that comes up every now and then that says that will give me like a fake, this transaction came through on your PayPal, and it'd be for a large amount of money.
Yeah.
And it'll say down the bottom, if this wasn't you, click here, and then it would take you to a real looking PayPal page.
It's called phishing.
I expect you to put your details in to log in. Which I did the first time.
I'll get wrecked, son.
But then when I realized it was a scam, I quickly went through and changed all my passwords.
Yeah.
And there have been no transactions on my PayPal, thankfully, but I still get that email every once and again. I just go, oh yeah, support team at PayPal. Let's check the details. And the address is 1065B2AQZXYZ at something .com or whatever.
Yeah. I'm surprised I don't get them, like, considering I use PayPal so much more. But, like, I'd never fall for that. But yeah, fucking scams.
And you'll never guess what happened next. We log into our account, and there were 3 fairy paintbrushes in our inventory, and just kidding, we got that. And we got 100,000 of our Neopoints, and we never got the paintbrush we were promised. But we learned a valuable lesson that day, which was, People will try to scam you, so trust no one. We were lucky enough to only lose
I hope no
virtually-
one who buys cards off you watches this fucking episode and goes, I watched the odd one. I don't want this card for that amount.
No, like, okay, they say if it's too good to be true, it's probably not. And I'm gonna put it out there. My cards are priced very fairly, and they are not too good to be true. So if I price it too cheap, people are like, oh, what's this guy's
30%
deal?
off everything Warhammer 40k this weekend
Oh,
only.
yeah. Like, once a year, I do some, like, really big sales, but usually it's because I've got a ton of stock and I want the money, so I do some, like, stupidly crazy sales like that. But most of the time, it's, like, I'm very fair, so it's good, but it's not too good to be true.
full money. But some people aren't that lucky. On the internet, you have to deal with people trying to scam you constantly. There's probably comments underneath this very video of people using my name and profile picture saying, click on this link and get a free gift card. And they always
Whoa,
use
that's so
a
true.
stupid amount of emojis so their comment sticks out more. I thought it was obvious that those
Just the animation of that is hilarious. You should make a gif of that.
comments were fake, but some people still fall for them. Listen, we need to get one thing straight about our relationship. If I ever use this many emojis, I want you to shoot me. Scammers like to target non-tech savvy people, or what I like to call babies and baby boomers. There's a lot of things you can do to help prevent people from taking advantage of you on the internet, but my rule of thumb is that if something sounds too good to be true, it is. No one's giving out free gift cards, your long-lost uncle didn't wire transfer you money, and you can't get free paintbrushes. You can't cheat the system, that's just life, man. Also, if you ever get a pop-up saying, your computer has a virus, call this number to fix it.
What?
Don't. A guy with an Indian accent named Jason will charge you real money to fix the virus, but won't do anything. Because you never had a virus in the
That's Bonzi, buddy.
Oh.
first place. But those are all illegal scams. People go to jail over those scams.
No, they
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions of families suffer from it every year. However, there are some scams that are, for some unknown reason, completely legal. And frankly, I think we should reopen Alcatraz for the people who do these scams. So here's my list with the top 4 legal scams
Oh
that
my
should-
God.
It's so...
The first legal scam is mobile games. I was doing a show with this 9-year-old kid named Araya, and in the show he was going to punch me like this. And one day when we were
Holy
punching,
shit,
Araya
that
asked me,
kid
"Can I
really
get some
swung
games
into
on
him."
your phone?" So I gave him my phone, and his dad told me, "Hey man, I don't even trust my kid with my phone." And I thought, what's the worst thing he can do besides tweet something or delete my YouTube channel? But he
That is true, man. Like, if I wouldn't trust the kid with my fucking phone.
No.
did something so much worse. He downloaded a free game, and inside the game you could buy a VIP member version that gave you extra lives and more skins. The thing that was a scam was that the app gave you the VIP member free for 3 days, then charged you $6 a week. That's $1 a day, not including Thursdays, to play some stupid mobile game. It's more expensive than a Netflix subscription, and a tasty hot and ready $5 Little Caesars pizza. Now some of you might be thinking, okay, yeah, that's a ridiculous price for a mobile game, but that's not a scam. They tell you how much it's going to cost right there on the screen. But here's the thing. Roughly 0 people bought the VIP member pass because they were fans of the game and didn't mind the price. No one is willing to pay a weekly bill for a game where all you do is this. But 100%
True. $6 a week.
of the people who paid for the subscription are kids using their parents' phone and bought the VIP pass because they have no concept of money. And you don't even have to enter in your credit card information, so it's easier for kids just to hit the purchase 6,000 gems button. It's targeting kids and I don't like it. Scam. I wish I had the confidence of a mobile game developer to charge someone $312 a year to play their stupid game. My proposal to fix this scam is to ban mobile games entirely and everyone play Tetris 99. Nintendo Online is cheaper than the VIP Club subscription anyway. The second legal...
I don't fuck with mobile games anymore,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
I don't have a single one here.
I've never spent money on a mobile game. But it weirds me out that, like...
It's one of two options. You get a game, right? That wants you to buy extra shit on it all the time. Or you get a game that's got just shitloads of ads. And it might actually not be a bad game, but there's so many ads on it.
I don't mind ads, right? But, like, the thing is with a lot of those games is that eventually you get to just a grind wall where, like, So the first, I don't know, 10, 15 levels are fine. It's just like, it's a very steady pace.
Yeah.
But then they get to a point where it's, you even need to like increase the level cap of your characters or upgrade them to like 2-star or whatever. And that's when they just fuck you so hard, right? It's like, oh yeah, cool. To upgrade to 2 stars, you need like 10 fucking gold feathers or some shit, right? And you can only get a gold feather if you do like a fucking week-long like bullshit. And then, yeah, and you can only win a tournament to get them. And then the only way you can win a tournament is if you have the good characters, and you get the characters by spending money.
My only really good examples are from when I was making Pornhub videos about porn games.
Oh, yeah, about the gem game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one of them where, like, it was just like Honey Pot, but it was a way more explicit version of Honey Pot.
Yep.
And, but it got really, really hard. Right up to after like the first couple dates with a girl. You had to do like 5 dates with a girl and then 5 sexes with a girl or something.
5 sexes with a girl? It's like the game was developed by a virgin. Oh, you did the sex. You gotta get 5 sexes to get up to...
But, and I had a good method down as to how to win, but you had a limited number of actions and you had to wait an hour before you got another action back. But everything costed like 2 or 3 or 4 actions. The only way that like it would take so long to like level the girls up, because you had to, within the Honey Pop game, link up fucking like chests and shit that was really fucking hard, and sometimes you just straight up wouldn't get it for days and days. And then you had to collect like 10 of that item, and then 10 of 3 other item, and then you could upgrade your girl with 1 stat point, which might give her like, oh, she's 10% more effective with cherries now than she was before.
Yeah, man.
And it was just like, it's basically, alright, you can just buy a whole bunch of gems now and finish the girl off. But that, like, there's like 20-something girls, and they keep adding more girls. And
Exactly,
then they do promo weeks, where... Oh, for a limited time only, you get 3 bonus girls with bonus conversations and shit.
Different costumes and shit. Limited edition Christmas costumes or Halloween costumes and shit. Yeah. But like what really sort of like weirds me out is that there are certain kids have just grown up with mobile games, and their understanding of games is just going to be so skewed compared to like the kids that grew up like with just Nintendo, man.
Yeah.
Like I would much rather have like grown up with like Nintendo, those shitty 8-bit pieces of shit, than to have grown up with like mobile games, even though they look much flashier, look much cooler, probably more responsive. But
we grew up in a time with video games when like you got a game and that was the package deal.
Yeah.
There was nothing being added. There were no added promotions. There was nowhere to put any money into the console to get extra shit. A developer would work on it for like 3, 4, 5 years and just pack everything.
Not back in those days, man. It was like 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, man.
Alright, but they pack everything into a game, and then even if you finished the game, you still had like all this extra like little bits and pieces they put in there that you could find to like 100% it, or even just secrets and stuff like that. How many fucking years were people trying to find the 17th Colossus, man? Was it 17? 16 Colossus? Shadow of the Colossus.
I've never played that game. Like there's a big gap in my PlayStation like knowledge,
But I was watching a video about finding the last Colossus, and it was basically just a documentary of how hard people were trying to find this goddamn thing, to the point where they're literally going around a giant open desert, and they're just like poking their sword in the ground, moving a couple like pixels, stabbing again, moving a couple pixels, stabbing again. They were just going over and over and over, and there's this like 3,000 page thread. Someone printed off all the pages for this thread and made a fucking book out of it.
Wow.
This massive book. That's how long people were trying to find this thing that, mind you, they never found. I think at the very end of it, there was one secret, and it was just you walk down a hole in some place after you do something, it opens up, then you can go down. It's just, there's just like a sword, and it's like, yeah. That was the last secret. And I don't even know if that was in the original game or if it was in like the remaster that came out recently. I'm pretty sure that came out recently. Something like that. But like the amount of time spent on that goddamn game Now you just fucking like, oh, we added more stuff, buy it.
Yeah, man. There's no discoverable secrets anymore in games. It's all DLC now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back to the video.
Legal scam is college.
Fuck yes. Don't go to college. Unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or some shit. Then you have to go. But yeah.
Textbooks. We live
Oh,
in-
yeah. Fuck those guys even more. Every semester, every subject, it's like a 80 or 90 or even like, if you're studying certain law subjects or certain finance subject, $140 textbook that you don't even use that much of, man. God damn it.
Society where all human knowledge and misconceptions are contained on the internet. But if you print out that knowledge and bind up the pages, suddenly you made a best-selling book that people are required to buy. There are some textbooks that are just a CD or a code that you need a computer to even access the book, so what's the point of buying the textbook if you have a computer that's connected to the internet in the first place? And don't tell me that the books are better for people that don't have internet. I know you have an internet connection, because, come on.
Like, sure, like, you wouldn't be in college if you didn't have a goddamn internet connection, right? But yeah, so, like, what I did, and like, to you guys watching here, life hack here. Just buy the old edition book. Older older content's gonna be the same, unless you're studying law or some shit. Then you're fucked. If you're, like, because most things don't change. Like, fucking the human body doesn't change, right? So a medicine textbook, it's still the same. Oh, the fucking human heart and the whatever system. Yeah.
A math textbook.
Yeah. All that shit's still the same. The only difference, and the big bullshit thing, certain teachers are going to be like, oh yeah, but the questions have changed. So like when I say, oh yeah, do like questions 19B and 19C, 19E, you can't do them unless you get a new textbook. Just go to the library, borrow the textbook off the shelf, and just like photocopy the questions, and then you're done. Just like, yeah, save your money, get the old textbook, and then when you need to do like questions, just like take them from, like just photocopy them from the library one.
My solution to this scam is to drop out and make YouTube videos.
Or you could do that.
It's worked so well for us so far.
Well,
Well, you didn't drop out.
yeah, I didn't drop out.
Third legal scam is psychics. I don't want to debate whether or not psychics are real, because they're not. My horoscope told me so. My belief...
The first two I can get on board with. This third one just seems like really random out of nowhere, right? Like, every college student faces a college book problem, and then mobile games, that's a very, like, well-known problem. But psychics, like, when's the last time, like, a psychic's ever been like, oh yeah, you need your palm read or some shit?
There is a psychic convention that was happening very recently at one of my competitors' pubs. I just saw the signage while I was driving around the town. I was like, what was that? Physics convention? Psychic convention? What?
They have the psychic battles. Oh, there was that episode of South Park where,
Spoons!
like, you probably haven't seen it, but there's this episode of South Park where all these different psychics, they were battling each other, like, oh, and like they're just doing all the different sort of like mental poses and shit.
I was dating a girl who used to go and see a psychic, and that was her idea of like getting some therapeutic help. Instead of like seeing like a trained like counselor or anything like that, she went to go see her psychic. It wasn't just like she'd go and see psychics. She had a regular guy she used to go to. And her proof of this guy being legit was that her grandmother used to sing her some kind of fucking song when she was a kid. The psychic knew and sang the song for her. How did he know that? How did he know that?
Yeah, right?
I'm just like, I don't know, you probably fucking gave it away somehow and forgot that you told him.
It's like, people are surprisingly predictable. Like I've met enough people to like be able to guess a whole bunch of random things off them, like through cold reading. Like something that like, and I've just like out of a whim just like spoken to and got my palm read by those people just sitting on the street in like in a city or something, right? And you notice they never really say anything bad about your future. They're always like, oh yeah, your future looks like you might have a new opportunity or something really general, vague, and it's always real positive. So like like talking to a psychic, they're kind of like a counselor, except they don't help you with the problems. They just give you hope that hopefully they're never going to hold you accountable to. It's like, you can never go to a psychic and be like, hey, you said my finances are going to turn around, so like I put a mortgage on my house to do like blah 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 for my business. Now I fucking lose my house. It's like, yeah, you said my finances are going to turn around. It's like, by then she's fucking gone.
But there's always that fucking like. This is what people don't get. But there's always like, if you knew your future, that would no longer be your future. Knowing the future changes the future.
Nah, or like, what happened? Nah, but if your future included the fact that you knew your future, then it'd be okay. Then it's consistent. If it's the circuit pattern.
Oh, but keep going.
Is that no one can talk to dead people because we're not living in a cartoon. And it just makes me sick that there are psychics who are taking advantage of people who are grieving and are so desperate to talk to their loved ones.
This has
again
got to be
that they'll
personal for
try
him.
anything, even paying people to lie to them. Ooh, I burned my finger on that hot take. Now, I don't think that every psychic out there is trying to scam people. Most of them are.
He had a Millennium
but I
Puzzle
do
one.
think there are some
Really?
psychics
Did you not
who
see that?
legitimately believe
He also,
anything,
when the guy was
even
when he had the
paying
astronaut
people
in
to lie to
space,
them.
the Earth was
Ooh,
flat
I burned
too.
my finger on that hot take. Now, I don't think that every psychic out
Oh yeah, shit.
there is trying to scam people. Most of them are. But I do think there are some psychics who legitimately believe that dead people use them as a vessel to talk to their living relatives. And in their three eyes, they are helping and giving their clients closure. I understand that a very small percentage of them are just trying to help. But it doesn't matter because they're all fake. My solution to this scam is that you don't pay a psychic unless they can guess how much money you're going to pay them. Maybe close to zero, hopefully.
Psych.
Is multi-channel networks. Wait, did you guys hear that? It sounds like bridges being burned. When your YouTube channel starts growing, you'll get contacted by a multi-channel network, or MCN, and they'll make empty promises that if you join their network, they can help your channel grow and earn more money. And they'll brag about how many people are in their network, when really that just means there's less of a chance they'll care about you. And all you have to do to join is give them a percentage of your YouTube money every month. And once you sign your soul away, what a network will actually do is nothing. Except take a cut of your money every month. It's like showing your dog a tennis ball and then pretending to throw it, and then when the dog realizes he's chasing nothing...
Have you ever done that?
Oh, plenty of times. But my dog's always got wised up to it.
Okay.
He's already signed a 3-year contract to keep chasing the fake ball. I know this last scam might not apply to everyone watching, but if this video helps...
Yeah, it's so specific, right? It's like the first two are super general. Next one's just like kind of
It's just
this
like
is
topical,
yeah.
right? Because
At least
multi-channel
one-
networks are fucking. They used to be a necessary thing in the YouTube market space, but like they should have pretty much died by the time YouTube started monetizing people themselves and running ads themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But they stayed around because they made it so hard to get out of those contracts.
Okay.
an up-and-coming YouTuber to not join an MCN, then it will have been...
Plus, it just takes advantage of, like, kids and shit like that. Because, like, even 18-year-olds, like, your brain hasn't, like, fully developed yet, so you're still a fucking idiot.
Dude, even people in their, like, young adult life, in their 20s and 30s, still don't know shit about law and contracts, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so...
And they're just like, and for a lot of YouTubers, it's just like, oh my god, this is it. I finally fucking made it.
I keep, like...
I'll never sign up to an MCN.
I've told many, like, young people this many times. If you do not have experience with law or finance, get someone to check a fucking contract before you sign it, man. Yeah. So many people just, like, sign a contract because they think it's a good deal, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you didn't know there was a fucking termination clause, or we, like, fuck you for 60% of the money that you earn if you try to leave. And
because they're only going to tell you, like, the good parts of it. Like,
yeah.
Like, if someone's trying to get you to sign a contract, you just have to realize when someone's being a salesman. When is someone trying to sell you something to buy their product?
So that's my list for the top 4 legal scams that should not exist and die. I don't think this video is going to actually change anything. People will always be greedy and try and get money any way they
Rare memes.
they can. So if there's anything you should take away from this video, is that I'm giving away free gift cards. Click the link in the description to claim your prize.
It's pretty funny.
I can't help but feel that this video is was entirely made just to shit on MCNs.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you put this his video up, now, because did you hear about the Egoraptor controversy quite recently?
There was an Egoraptor controversy?
Yeah, and even Egoraptor's old Newgrounds friends were giving him shit on Twitter.
Ooh.
Oni NG and some other guys and people who used to do collaborations with him back in the day. So Egoraptor got super duper PC lately, which is funny considering this is the guy who used to make the awesome cartoons. And shit that.
And swears a lot.
Yeah, he's cut back on that so much on Game Grumps and stuff recently.
You kind of have to now.
But some guy made a satirical video. I haven't seen it, but it's sort of directed at these kind of storytime animators a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the odd one is out, didn't like it, but he didn't say anything. So Aaron jumped on Twitter on pretty much on his friend's behalf.
Yeah.
To say that no, this isn't funny, this is just mean. People used to fuss at me when I was making Newgrounds videos and say this kind of stuff about me, and it just wasn't funny, it was mean. And the guy who made it was wow, dude, I wasn't trying to offend anyone or anything. And then people Oni are responding to Egoraptor going, stop being a fucking child. You used to do that shit all the goddamn time. That was you. That was how you built your career on Newgrounds. That was how you built Newgrounds' career before you started burning all these bridges. Grow up, dude.
Honestly, I feel my perspective is just stay out of controversy and don't take any sides in any public debate. It's don't take sides. Just stay out of everything, man. Yeah. Things come back to bite you. If you take a side, then older people on the other side are just gonna hate you forever, man. Never take a side. Never take a side. I will never take a side on major controversies.
Game Grumps is dying! Moving on.
But I like Egoraptor.
I don't like Egoraptor. I haven't liked Egoraptor for a long time.
World's best heat shield is 99.8% air.
This is the ultimate test of
Sounds
Aerogel.
boring.
Well, it's like Mark Rober, but
on the line to see who wins in the battle of flamethrower versus Aerogel. So if you really want to see the insulating properties of Aerogel, you gotta put it to the test. And this material here is the most insulating, right?
Can I see it?
So
yeah, right?
XTE, it's made by Aspen Aerogel, so it's...
Oh, so it's just asbestos.
Looks like asbestos.
Yeah.
1 centimeter thick. It doesn't look like the blue stuff because it's actually a fiberglass blanket that's infused with aerogel.
By the blue stuff, he means this, silica aerogel. It's made of the same material as sand or glass, but if you zoom into the nanoscale, you'd see it has a sponge-like structure with tiny pores just tens of nanometers across. Now, aerogel can be up to 99.8% air, but it's a better thermal insulator than air because those pores are so tiny that hot air struggles to diffuse through them. Plus, the nanoscale structure itself is a poor conductor of heat.
This is some pretty cool science, not gonna lie.
But aerogel is pretty fragile in this form, and so it's not really practical for most uses. Instead, what you can do is actually take tiny particles of aerogel and embed them in a composite material, like blankets.
But it has the additional component, iron oxide, just basically rust, that makes it opaque to infrared radiation, so it's good at stifling conduction, convection, and radiation.
And on the other side of
What's
this...
his logo on his jumper? It looks like the T-Series logo.
This
guy.
Oh.
insulating aerogel blanket,
That,
we
T?
have Ben.
I don't know.
Who,
It's
he's from
not sure. It could be a
Cape Cod and
logo.
responded to a tweet of mine when I asked if anyone in this area has a flamethrower, or a not a flamethrower in this case. From
Boring Company. That's Elon Musk. Oh, Elon Musk company made the flamethrowers. So Elon Musk, I forget the
Owns
story.
a lot of shit.
Yeah, so Elon Musk, there was some sort of suggestion that said Elon Musk, one of his companies, should make a flamethrower, and then after some sort of long, prolonged
he uploaded
something,
the picture on
yeah,
Twitter.
he got the.
You know,
he
he's
made
got
the-
some really cool flamethrowers. Like, he didn't make them, he bought them. FPS Russia's got some really cool flamethrowers.
those Russians and their guns.
He's not a real Russian.
Oh,
He's
really?
an American who was doing the
The Russian,
Russian
accent,
accent
yeah.
with guns and shit on the early days of YouTube. There's no way he can ever make money on YouTube again like that.
Yeah.
From the Boring Company. Have you ever fired this before?
I have not, so this will be a first.
Okay.
Why buy a flamethrower and not like fire it at some point, right?
So what we're going to do is try to test what the temperature is on the far side of that blanket when we put the flamethrower at full bore onto this side.
Alright, let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, let's give this a try. Right here I have the FLIR thermal camera. This is the T1020, which can record up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. First, for comparison, let's
But
see
they
what
put the
this flamethrower can do
viewfinder on
to
the
something
same
that's
side as
not
the
aerogel.
lens.
Let's put it to the test on this supersized Hershey's Kiss. There you go. Alright, Ben.
Oh, predator vision.
Within seconds, the temperature of the chocolate is up to hundreds of degrees Celsius.
I would have thought the chocolate would have melted way faster, to be honest. Like, it's been
Around
10
30
seconds in the...
the whole thing starts to collapse.
Doesn't seem like a very strong flamethrower if it took that long to melt a chocolate, in my opinion.
Even after the flamethrower is removed, parts of the chocolate are still well over 600 degrees Celsius. I think this is what the internet likes. They like really hot things applied to, you know, novelty objects. Okay.
Remember when all those, like, hot knives
Oh
versus,
my
like, whatever
God.
videos?
Oh,
they were
fuck it
trending
off.
so hard.
I made a joke about it on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, right.
I was like, alright, here's what we're gonna do for today's science video. I'm gonna stick a 1,000-degree knife up my ass.
What the fuck?
Now is the time to really put Aerogel to the test. He's about to put the flamethrower full bore on this side of the blanket. Just 1 centimeter away will be my hand on the back side of the blanket. Okay. I'm ready.
So, he's wearing eye protection. This guy gets fucking nothing. Oh, actually he does, yeah.
Whoa, you can,
Oh, look
looks
at
like you can see his skeleton.
Yeah, I was about to say.
On hard. Come in. I don't feel any heat. A little warm? That is crazy. It feels a little warm. Propane burns at about 2,000 Celsius. So this blanket is doing an incredible job.
That guy trying to look cool while just, like, holding a flamethrower.
It's never like Arnold Schwarzenegger types that get these fucking novelty, like, oh fuck, it's sick, it's a flamethrower. It's always like these real fucking dorky white guys.
Yeah.
Incredible. Really taking time for that heat to go through the blanket. It's only a centimeter thick. What does it look like from the back?
I don't know if it's the most visually spectacular thing. But it
Yeah.
is pretty interesting.
Like, not much is happening here. It's just like, oh, flamethrower on one side and his hand's just on the other side. It's not even retaining
So
heat.
this flamethrower was producing over 660 degrees Celsius on this side. Meanwhile, on the other side, we were just measuring about 50 degrees Celsius. We're going up to the highest range that this camera can do, up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. Okay. We're not going to be able to see much, except for the really hot stuff. Let's go for it. Okay. Look at the flamethrower on top. Can you see that? That is just insane.
Top of his head's hotter than his hand.
This blanket is still not hot. see that with the thermal? How hot is it?
Yeah, it's like 50 degrees C on the thermal.
What about the other side?
I got 900 at one point.
900 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, and it's actually still it's over 200 degrees Celsius right now.
Whoa. Like right in here?
Yeah, right there.
Why didn't you touch it? What?
And
Touch it still, right?
I can still touch it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because
You
it's
see
trapped
my
inside.
After I touched it?
Absolutely.
Wow. Now you might be wondering how it's possible to touch something hotter than 100 degrees Celsius without getting burned. Well, for that, we need to go to another demonstration. This is...
Oh, it's because when they said it's like it holds conduction, convection, and radiation. It means that it traps heat and then doesn't release the heat.
the hot plate set to around 150 degrees Celsius. And on top of it is a metal plate that is mostly covered in about a millimeter of an aerogel coating called Aerolon. But a small square in the corner is left uncovered. This says about 126, 127 degrees Celsius, so clearly hotter than boiling water. So would you put your hand in boiling water? I don't think so, that would hurt. But what about putting it on this coating? So let me try.
How's it feel?
Whoa, that's crazy.
Not like 130 degrees. It feels hot, but yeah. But it doesn't feel like 130 degrees. I wonder...
To prove the point, there's some water in a little beaker.
When I move that, can you
Oh
see
yeah,
my
your finger,
handprint?
yeah, totally. Your handprints, thermal handprints left behind.
So I was cooling down the surface when I did that.
Cooling it down.
Over here, this is not coated. And this is, I think, slightly hotter. It's about, it's, 180 degrees Celsius. So that is the part I don't want to touch.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to touch it because it doesn't have aerogel on it.
This is such a thin coating. It's about a millimeter. But even that millimeter of aerogel means that you can touch something that otherwise you would be totally unable to touch. This would definitely burn you.
They should put like a marshmallow or some meat or something just to show off it
Yeah,
burning, right? So
right.
it's just so hot I shouldn't touch
The
it.
dropper?
Yeah.
Is there?
Oh, I moved it. Yeah.
Okay. So take some of that, and just to prove the point, put it on the metal square.
Let me put some of this on that piece of metal here. I'm going to drop a little bit of water on it.
Yep, that boils.
So we can see.
Now what's really cool is the drops that splattered off onto the Aerolon coating are not boiling.
Let's have a look here.
Oh, what a surprise.
And this water doesn't boil.
Put your finger right next to the metal.
Right there. I don't know if this is going to be like heat transfer through the water. It gets hot.
Put your finger on the Aerolon itself without the water.
What, like there?
Yeah, no big deal, right?
Yeah, I mean that's not.
That's easy.
It's not uncomfortable. It's clearly hot, but it's not like, you know, putting your hand in boiling water, which is kind of crazy because it is hotter than boiling water, but it just doesn't conduct the energy to your hand that fast. That's really weird.
They use this for applications what they call safe touch, so that something that would normally instantly burn you, something hot enough to boil water, you could hold your hand on for minutes and it wouldn't hurt you at all.
Okay, so far in this video, I focused on using aerogel in hot applications, but it works equally well at the other end of the temperature spectrum, at cryogenic temperatures. And this comes in handy for things like liquefied natural gas plants, or by NASA when they're using liquid helium. You need really good insulation to keep the heat out. I mean, those cold pipes, if they're not insulated properly, can end up with huge ice balls on them, which not only is inefficient, it's also incredibly dangerous.
Well,
So
that
this
happens
is
at
one of the
my
major applications for aerogel.
In our
these
big
days.
fridge.
If you take a piece of
Yeah.
aerogel and dip it in liquid nitrogen for a good while, it is still flexible when you bring it out. And that's kind of essential when you're working with material that needs to function at ultra-cold temperatures. Here is a carbon aerogel that has been submerged in liquid nitrogen. And as that liquid nitrogen turns back into the gas state, it functions like its own air hockey puck. Except instead of the air coming from the table, it comes from the puck itself. You can even buy
That's a pretty cool
jackets
application.
these days that have special aerogel-lined pockets that stay significantly warmer than standard jacket pockets, and they're specially made for your cell phone so that it doesn't freeze up in the cold weather.
Ah,
You know, I
okay.
feel like this is a story of something that started as an oddity, as something that didn't really have applications, but clearly is an amazing insulation and can be made into a really strong fire retardant material. Why would they insulate
Whoa. Can you use that word?
subsea oil pipelines with this material?
That's a really interesting question. So this was what we would call the killer app for aerogel. The oil that comes out of wells in the deep ocean is very viscous and slaggy. And so if you just had a pipe with that oil, it would basically gum up. So what you have to do is put another pipe around it and fill that gap with insulation. It's called a pipe-in-pipe configuration. And so they heat the oil, they have to keep it flowing, but you need to insulate that so that it doesn't lose all of its heat to the cold temperatures of the surrounding ocean. So if you think about laying pipes like that from a ship, you have these long segments of pipe. The ship has to be
pretty fucking smart.
on the side of the boat and drop down the ocean. So, at some point the pipe becomes so big and so heavy it capsizes the boat. So there are really only 3 vessels on the planet that were big enough to lay that really large diameter pipe for subsea oil pipelines. Aspen Aerogels came along and said, hey guys, we've got this really great new insulation. It's 3 times better than polyurethane. So I can take this much polyurethane foam and shrink it into an insulation that's that much aerogel now. What it did was allowed you to shrink the outer diameter pipe of this pipe-in-pipe configuration substantially. And because of that mass reduction from the smaller diameter pipe, all of a sudden 250 ships around the world to lay that smaller diameter pipe without any loss of performance in the oil pipeline. And so that resulted in alleviating years of backlogs of these pipelines that need to get laid and saved billions and billions of dollars.
Now, when we filmed this video, I knew the title would probably be something like Flamethrower versus Aerogel. But I didn't think of it like a real battle, like what would it mean for the Aerogel to win? That it just, didn't get hot or something? But as it turns out, in the Flamethrower user manual, it instructs you only to ever pull the trigger for 7 seconds at a time.
And he's holding it.
But to get the shot and to get the blanket hot enough, I frequently told Ben to pull the trigger for 5 or 10 times that long.
How's that for length? That was like triple.
Okay. And what we noticed over the course of the shoot was that the Flamethrower was working less and less well.
He doesn't give a fuck about that guy. He's behind his safety blanket, the other guy, holding it for like 10 times as long.
And by the end, we couldn't even pull the trigger. So, I'm sorry, Ben. And in the battle of Flamethrower versus Aerogel, I think Aerogel definitely won.
Yeah.
No shit.
You know those old fucking, Vietnam War flamethrowers that the Americans were running around with? Like those...
Oh, yeah, and it's attached to a tube and it's got the backpack full of petrol and shit. Oil.
I watched, hate to bring him up again, I watched FPS Russia use one of those in a video, and this is sort of where he got his opinion on flamethrowers. He had a pretty negative opinion on them, which he talked about on the podcast. Since he got the new ones, he's like, fuck yeah, these are sick, these are the most fun things to play with, but he was using one of them, and... because they filled them with napalm.
Yeah.
So you'd be shooting out this really sticky, viscous material
that
would fucking stick to you, and
it stays on fire, and
you're on fire. So when he used that, he used it to cook a fucking pig. But as he was using it, because he was using it too long, it would spit out the end.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so he would get shit on his hand, and it would come back and fly towards him, and it was really dangerous.
Things. I recalled him saying that flamethrowers are inherently just so prone to just friendly fire. It's it's so difficult. Obviously, it's so difficult to control fire and shit. Yeah. Plus, straight up, it's I think it's banned in international warfare now.
Yeah. You can't use them.
Yeah. So which makes sense.
The killing part aside,
it's just very inhumane.
Yeah, it's like using chemicals to choke people.
Yeah. Yep. Well, good to know there are rules to war. Next video is where does sauce belong?
Okay.
A quality Australian debate.
Okay. First of all,
what's your opinion on where does sauce belong?
Okay.
And I guess to clarify, it's tomato sauce, or for you Americans, ketchup.
Pantry.
So you think in the cupboard?
I always put it in the cupboard.
All right, I'm gonna put it out.
However, like if it's been in the fridge, I don't care.
I'm gonna put it out there that if they're like, I will put it in the fridge whenever I can, unless there's no space. So I'm a fridge man.
We got a big bottle of it like that.
Oh, like yeah, I usually just get the squeezy bottles. Yeah, but all right, it seems like our lines are clear. Let's see what they think.
Team cupboard.
Team fridge.
I also just like the humour that he wanted to put tomato sauce on his ice cream.
Don't.
Yeah.
Oh, are you fucking kidding?
What sort of brand shit is that?
No.
It's fucking...
Jackson? What's this?
This is sauce.
No, what temperature is it?
It's cold.
Why?
Because I put it in the fridge.
Why did you put it in the fridge?
Because that's where it belongs.
No, sauce belongs... Jackson, we've been through this. Sauce belongs
Yeah,
in
we
the
have
cupboard.
been through this. Sauce belongs in the cold boy.
It belongs in the cupboard.
The cold boy.
The cold boy.
It belongs in the fridge.
You know what? We're not getting anywhere yelling about this. We're going to have to...
We're going to have to sort this out. You know what this calls for?
What?
I think it's time for another Fairbairn investigation.
A Fairbairn investigation. I'm on the scene
Jackson, we gotta
with
get to the
Jackson
bottom
and
of this.
Lachlan. We're going to work out where the tomato sauce belongs.
Yeah, man.
Quick, because the clock is ticking. Well, that clock doesn't have a seconds ticking, but the minute hand is moving slowly.
Alright, we need to establish a perimeter. We got fridge and cupboard. So close, yet so different. Alright,
We
let's
have a
go to
small
some pros
kitchen.
and cons. Fridge
Yeah.
pros. Hot food, cold sauce.
Yes, that's why. You got your hot snag, you put some cold ketchup on it, and oh yeah, it cools down. You got a hot pie, put some cold ketchup on it, you're done.
No.
Beat that. Beat
First
that
of
logic.
all, it doesn't fucking cool it down nearly as much as you think it does.
Yeah, it does. It cools down a shit ton, man.
Barely at all. Secondly, you don't put it on for the fucking coldness of it. You put it on for the taste.
It's a bonus to the taste.
In fact, I think when it's colder, it detracts from the taste, much like a red wine.
So you like to just burn your mouth on hot pie, eh?
You know, I don't burn my mouth on any hot pie.
It's quite good. Makes it's good. You know, it's good. It's much better.
It's good, yeah.
Fresh.
Good argument.
Things don't go off in the fridge.
Yeah, it doesn't go off in the fridge.
How fucking long do you think people store those giant fucking tubs of sauce in the pantry for? And also, how often do you run out of sauce in those little fucking tubes?
Pretty often, man.
All the fucking time, right?
Yeah.
What sauce is going off in that fucking bottle?
Goes off slower.
Fridge cons. Kinda seemed a little bit wrong.
Exactly.
Cupboard pros. It's more socially acceptable, so we won't get bullied. Cupboard cons. Sauce belongs in the fridge, and that's a fact.
You're
Don't
wrong.
let anyone tell.
Alright, obviously we're going to disagree about this. We're going to have to go for some outside opinions. We're going to call everyone we know.
No.
Mum didn't pick up. Darcy didn't pick up either.
Damn.
Our older brother.
He just immediately just reject call.
Can call everyone you know.
That wasn't everyone I know.
2 of our family members and 1 of my mates.
Yep. I once met a dude down the pub who preaches at the local church, but I didn't get his number. You know what?
What?
It's time.
It's time for what?
Research.
The fuck's ketchup? Yellow pages. Random shit. Well, it's not
Yes, I
fair.
want to speak to the president. Yes, it's a matter of national security.
And where do you think sauce is kept?
Yeah, very interesting thoughts, Donald, but I need a definite answer.
And where do you think sauce is kept? Jackson, I couldn't seem to find a solution.
Neither could I.
Wait a minute.
What?
What's this? What? It says refrigerate after opening.
Oh my god! We solved the mystery!
We solved it!
Woo!
And just like that, another mystery is solved by the Fairbairn boys. Sauce belongs in the fridge, technically, but also put it in the cupboard if you want. Who gives a fuck? This argument is stupid. Go get a hobby. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.
That's how I like to win. Technically.
I guess it's still a win.
Yep. Alright. Next video is... Oh, Mega Giant Dart.
200 kilograms of mighty concrete, 1 mega giant dart. Is it getting through? That's fine.
I haven't watched this video yet, but do you think it's going through?
Yep. Concrete's weak as fuck.
See ya, Rexy.
Yes and no.
That is good.
So, actually, okay. Do you know? Okay, so
first, like if they dropped a bowling ball on there, wouldn't go through the concrete.
well, it's because bowling balls are actually kind of fragile.
Okay, but if they dropped something big and solid, just straight on,
Like an anvil or some shit.
yeah, sure,
Yeah. Okay.
like probably wouldn't go right through the concrete.
Do you?
Dart's got a fine point, but does it have enough mass? But that dart, they're lifting it up with a fucking crane.
So
I'd
it's
say
probably
that-
heavy enough. Plus, they're dropping it from that big ass tower. Like, do they own the tower, or do they just like always rent out time from it or some shit?
I don't know, man, but they're always dropping from this tower.
Yeah. Do you know like why? So you said that concrete's weak, right? Do you know kind of why that's the case, right? So
Is it because of its fucking like makeup, where it's kind of like diamonds, where if you can actually like break through it, it shatters.
it is that, right? So
Okay, unlike metal, which will just like bend and break in one place.
yep. Because concrete is a lattice shape.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically, it shatters. So concrete is very strong, but it doesn't have any flexibility
Malleability.
or rigidity. So that's why when you have buildings, and so have you ever noticed that when they like in buildings, when they make floors and shit, they put rebar in it, so that metal stick shit, and it's kind of like a net. So the whole point of that is to make it more resilient to cracks and shit.
But also, a building that goes that high up actually wobbles.
Yeah.
I think it was Taipan 101 or whatever the fuck that building in China or wherever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
They have a giant like ball on the inside of it. And the purpose of this is so that like as the building is moving, this ball will move around to counterbalance it.
Yeah, like a gyroscope.
Yeah, so if you're sitting on the top floor and you're trying to like have a fucking like bowl of soup or something, your soup will be like but not if that ball's there.
Yeah, man.
I was watching a British documentary about that building.
Can you hear me, Rexy?
Why the fuck do they have a barbecue?
Oh, boys. I've got to break something to you.
Do you think they brought a portable fridge for their fucking tomato sauce when they have a snack?
No, they just chuck it in the cold boy.
I'll give you
An esky. Oh, so you missed it, but like they said they brought that T-Rex with them. The one that those guys put in the concrete blocks.
forward of this line.
Oh.
It just gets better and better, doesn't it? Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna miss.
Rexy's really becoming a star of HR, isn't he? Oh, I'll give you another hint.
Oh, are these Aussies?
This one.
I think so.
'Cause they...
There will be.
I did find a rubber ducky.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Forward
totally
of this
Aussies.
one.
They got that kind of lingo.
Yeah, man.
That's bigger than a joke.
We got to play that up when we're in Singapore.
He's in the concrete! Rexy is inside! Rexy's inside. You did that? You didn't consult us? We've Han soloed Rexy!
Did you take out his
Rexy!
Han soloed Rexy.
No, bro, stay.
Stay alive, keep breathing! You know what else is good, boys?
What?
I don't give a fuck about your merch, bro.
Look at that! So there's a few designs.
Dude, YouTube merch for YouTubers is so fucking dumb.
Like,
I don't know, like... First of all, if it's not marketed well, people don't buy the shit anyway. Like, merch sales typically don't really do that good. But just, like... there is, like... Every fucking channel just, like, has a t-shirt with, like, the channel name on it.
like,
And I just think, like... YouTubers should be finding other fucking, like... merchandising avenues to go down if they want to sell shit.
well,
It's always just the fucking t-shirt.
it's such a low risk, easy to do thing, right? Because they didn't even need graphics artists for this shit, right? It's just
they didn't even
like a
they're not
rando
even-
font.
They're
yeah.
not even paying for these shirts.
Yeah,
but like I just fucking I don't like it.
Like
If my channel got big, I would have been selling fucking like hats and shit, man.
So I understand with like certain t-shirts with like artwork that's relevant to that channel, I can get that, right? But just why the fuck would you want a shirt that just says 44, right? They're not even a big enough channel for you to like walk around. So it's like, oh, nice shirt. It's just like, oh, it just says 44 on it.
Yeah.
Why do I care?
I don't get merch shirts at all.
We've got this square design here. We've got this big bowl design.
The one on Stanford's
And then the one on you, Stanford's quite nice as well.
The quite nice design.
We went with the simplistic sort of...
How much do you really have to like? How much do you really have to love a channel in order for you to be like, I'm gonna buy this shirt and wear it around, like when I'm out and shit, right?
Don't fucking buy anyone's fucking shit.
Yeah, you just buy the fucking gamer powder.
Why? It's a company, it's not a YouTube channel. You just get deals from the YouTubers. 30% off G Fuel.
30% off for 100 hours.
Just as you were saying it.
Store what? Get around that. Free shipping! Well, what? Let's get going into this episode, shall we? Yeah, so the get going is basically...
Thanks for distracting me with your merch. Can you put the dart through the concrete now, please?
40 kilos. I'd say about 100 mil thick.
What's the one I'm standing on?
This is 80 kilos, and it's double the thickness. This is actually slightly more than double that one. So this is 180 kilos. It's 400 mil thick.
Slightly
I don't know
more
if
than
we're gonna
double?
get through it, boys.
We need to, because Rex is inside.
Yeah,
It's another
Like,
20 kilos.
pretty sure it's gonna shatter for shit. Like,
Yeah, that's the game pretty much.
Oh, and we've subbed in Donald because Rex is a little busy at the moment.
Everyone, contest! How much was the flippin' concrete? If you get it closest,
Yeah, I have
or you
no
nail
idea.
it on the head.
if they poured it themselves and just bought bags of concrete, I
Well, they
think.
did because they put Rexy in there.
Yeah. Okay. So that means I reckon it would have cost them. I don't know how much concrete. It would have been like a bag, maybe a bag and a half, and a bag is like what, $60? So probably like 90. Well, it's like if you count the whole second bag, it'd probably be like 120, 140. So yeah, let's see how my guess is. 120, 140. Price is Right style.
Alright, Jack, send it down.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my fucking god, that's terrifying. Holy shit, that's so terrifying.
Duck has been hit.
Whoa, that orange one was pretty close. Well, at least they got like a pulley to pull it up this time. Like I remember they used to have to just like manually carry that shit up the
Yeah.
stairs.
Well, they never took anything like that up there.
Boys, we're going to go again. We can be better than that.
I think I threw mine a bit hard. That doesn't sound like you.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know, that fucking scares me a little bit.
Yeah, one more.
It was good fun.
Yeah, man. But then again,
Oh,
you
I almost got the yellow.
Yeah, I was far too low and far too late.
No, it shouldn't be too late though, Scott. People buying their merch, 100 hours.
fuck off.
Hey,
Jack definitely spun that thing. Did you notice that?
Did you give us some spinach?
Where's the duck?
You down there?
No, it's catfish.
He's on the ground.
Holy shit.
I can't. I'm at the bottom. Oh, here he is.
Come on, everybody, it's just there.
I reached down for nothing, Donald. Oh, another drop. Get some merch. There we go.
I kind of want to just skip to the concrete part.
That's how I feel about a lot of these videos. Because they'll always just do like, let's just do some fuck around experiments to begin with, and then we'll actually get to the main thing you wanted to watch.
Great chat, everyone. How good
I remember
is
when I was doing a very minor amount of research on like thumbnails and like titles and shit like that. It was just like whatever, and one of the fucking tips that I got was whatever appears in the thumbnail should happen in the video within like the first so many seconds or whatever.
Yo, that's like that. I think that's just like a very quick snapshot of what happens, like a very small short clip of it, and then you get the long video.
But like,
because initially it has to draw in the attention to get people to be like, all right, cool. So here's the payoff, right? Because people don't want to sit on YouTube and like spend 15 minutes to watch a video unless they know that the payoff is good. But you got to keep them around long enough now because
fuck, it really puts me off when they start talking about merch before they even fucking drop the thing. I'll tell you that.
That audience retention is the really important for YouTube videos right now.
That one though. I'm very excited about that. Just to see Rexy. Just to see a head or something in there. Weighing 60 kilos in the red and blue trunks. We good, dog? Let it rip. Oh, we're on.
Alright. So we're both in agreement that it's just going to shatter the hardest, the biggest one, right? Fucking no contest.
Big. I was so sure I was going to cop a merch plug or a bell then. Wow. Big. I think very conclusive. Look at that, Stanford. That's a sizable chunk.
Fuck, it goes right through and still buries itself.
Should people get some merch?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, man. Like concrete can't take like any sort of flex.
Up we go, up we go.
Oh, wait, that wasn't even the thickest one, but
Oh, Susie!
this is still fucked though. Guaranteed.
That thing just keeps going. It's a big, big horse.
And can Susie get through the concrete?
Yeah, I'm backing her in big time. Susie's through. Susie's getting through. And Stanford.
Like,
Rexy.
real talk, you could probably crack that like cement block with just.
A
Well, like
hammer.
I could do it with like probably with just like
Get
a
fucking
big hammer.
sledgehammer.
Yeah,
And if
sledgehammer.
Susie
and-
can do it, we will do more concrete if you want. Can we do a meter block of concrete?
Probably do about 30% off for 100 hours.
Oh my
The
fucking god.
hashtag flipping thumbs up, do whatever the
Overdoing
heck
it.
you want. Hashtag we want concrete. Is that gonna work? Did you think about that for long? I did.
We're the sellouts too, man.
You haven't sold out hard enough yet.
Ready, boys? Send up Susie! Hi-ho, Susie, away! Aaron is absolutely chomping at the bit up there. Should we make him wait a little bit longer, though? Like, what could we say to just stall something unnecessarily? Aaron! There they are! Yeah, hey, Stanford! What do you reckon you can do to make sure it drops nice and vertical? Pray to our good father that he stops the wind. Good father. At least he's good. Can you ask another stupid question? Are you getting any
Oh my
spin?
god, just get to it already.
Come on, you got one more. You got one more. Come on. How's the paint job looking? Yeah, a little scratchy.
Drop the dart.
Is there any damage to the tip? I can't see the tip is underneath me. Should we raise it? I don't know. Should we? Yeah.
You just want to get all those extra YouTube watch minutes.
I'm crying. Yeah, right. How's it looking? I think pretty good, all things considered. How are the whistles looking? Any damage? I haven't heard one bit of whistle the whole day. Is the pin out? Negative. You want to send it down a little?
It's not even that funny, and they're cracking up so
No,
hard.
it's not. It's just like that kind of like situational humor. Look at the absurd scenario we're in right now. Oh, you missed it.
Pretty straight.
Oh shit, the fucking concrete shrapnel.
So we missed. After all that. The viewer must be unbelievably ropeable at the moment. I mean, we're laughing, but you're
I fucking
probably
waited
not.
all
You're
that for you to
thinking,
miss.
Get to the point, boys! How did we miss on that flippin' side? Hey, we'll chuck some slowly on, we'll get the winch down, and we'll just try and hit this thing for you, I promise.
Yeah, just clip the edge, but still, it's definitely gonna fucking destroy it.
Concrete relocated, Susie going up. If you're the sort of person out there who's watching our videos and you actually find them quite funny, you love the chat and the banter, then memberships is definitely for you.
Fucking
check it out.
selling out so hard.
One opportunity per customer, my man.
You already get amongst it. Aaron, did you tell them about the merch sale that's
Oh
on at the
my
moment?
God.
Yeah, I talked about that once or twice. Oh, okay, sweet, yeah. Now let her rip then. Let's hear it go, please.
It's worse than an infomercial.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're away. We're on.
I fucking missed it again.
Rexy, are you free? I can see him! Rexy!
Oh, okay.
Oh no! He looks in a bad way. He's like half in, half out. Do you reckon he's making noise at the moment? Look at that mouth. Calm down, Heron! Yeah, but so that was Impact Zone. I mean, you've got to say that Susie's obviously won. It's actually direct hit, like proper full force. See you later.
Alright, I'm just gonna skip after the slow-mo.
Like, they hit it in a way that, like, the dart deflected off a bit,
Yeah.
but it's still fucking shattered.
That is an amazing hit, Heron. Rexy's
Oh,
I was kind of hoping that dinosaur would get totally owned.
well, apparently not.
No.
Oh, long video. I haven't watched this at all.
Kind of a bit of a sequel to what we were talking about last time, with Ninja moving over to Mixer. Got a $10 million a year deal from Microsoft. I think we both kind of talked about, or at least you did anyway, how, like, that amount of money is not really a lot of money to Microsoft.
But yeah, but it was a big deal to Ninja. Well, it's like, it's a good amount of money for Ninja to lock in.
Yeah.
Especially at, like, kind of, like, a good period in his career.
On Blender. And I'll take questions from the audience. Yes, you with the face.
Isn't Blender used for making 3D modeling animations and not, you know, live streaming?
Blender, Mixer, I don't know, they're all kitchen utensils. I'd live stream on a NutriBullet if they paid me enough. Next question. You, outdated meme guy.
Yes, what does this do for your future theories?
Still as cringy as ever.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Dad's you too, sir. Who else?
Man.
You, refrigerator full of cash. Oh, Audible, you really are the coolest audiobooks in town.
Yeah.
Thanks for sponsoring us. I've got time for one more question here. You, blatant celebrity cameo.
What's Jable and Jables? How do you feel about that new Mixer Ninja deal?
It was a mistake.
Whoa.
Hold on, sit down. Let me explain.
I'm interested to hear how he unpacked it. How he's gonna unpack it.
He doesn't necessarily sound wrong in this video. From memory, I think there are a few things he didn't really consider.
Like,
but
what I want to find out is when he says, like, it was a mistake, but, like, my question is it a mistake for... Is he meaning it was a mistake on behalf of Mixer, or he's saying it was a mistake on behalf of Ninja? I don't think he's, like, really is... Like, you probably couldn't say that it's a mistake for Ninja, but I can understand him saying it's a mistake for Mixer. But, yeah, let's have a look.
Welcome to Game Theory. Proud to announce that we're still here on YouTube. Alright, so at this point we've all heard the news, right? Tyler Ninja Blevins has moved from being one of Twitch's...
I saw his fucking book the other day. I was in Big W, in the book section.
You mean Matt Pat's book?
No.
There's a ninja book?
There's a ninja book.
Like a book? Like an autobiography book?
It's
or
like, yeah, it's like that fucking big.
Holy shit. Fuck, man.
I'm just like, what the fuck is Ninja's book doing here? It's just like one of those things where Ninja's a fucking flash in the pan streamer. like personality
Yeah,
on the
he's-
internet, and he's got his own fucking book, and it's like, man, this guy really fucking tried to cash in big.
It's money. What? Like, yeah, why wouldn't he? But then at the same time, the people who follow Ninja aren't probably going to read a book. People who watch Twitch don't read books.
Like, if people love someone enough, then they would buy it just to, like, own it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But, like, those kids don't even realize he didn't write the book. 100% it's a ghostwriter. 100% it was some dude that just, like, spoke to him on, like, fucking cassette tapes and recorded all the interviews for, like, hours and then, yeah, just wrote that shit up for him.
Just like what Diane did in BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, well, it's actually surprisingly common for a lot of celebrities to just
Yeah.
get ghostwriters to write their autobiographies.
I'll just, like, talk to him and interview him for long periods of time, follow him around to places, and... yeah.
Well, alright, let's get into the meat of this video.
Just streamers to exclusively streaming over on Mixer, a streaming competitor to Twitch that's owned by Microsoft. One that, up until this point in history, has gone largely overlooked by the gaming community. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, there's a lot of reasons, in fact. Ninja, for the better part of the last 2 years, has been one of, if not the most famous gamer in the world. I mean, sure, there have been people who've surpassed him in the numbers, and yeah, objectively speaking, there are people who are better players than him.
Cringe.
Do you know how they, like, what the format was for, like, the World Championships of Fortnite?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Because if it's, like, a 100-man thing, right, it's like, what, they just take your scores over X amount of games or some shit? Or is... Yeah.
Well, they're in a fucking stadium playing. Like, are they going to set up 100 computers in a fucking stadium and make them just duke it out?
Yeah.
And whoever wins, wins?
Yeah, like, yeah.
But Fortnite's also one of those... Fortnite, to me, does not seem like a very good esports game. Because it seems like one of those ones where it's you just get jibbed in the fucking ass. Like, just randomly.
A whole bunch of random shit, right? Yeah.
And like, you can't account for shit like, oh, where I dropped, I couldn't find anything but this flimsy little pistol or whatever. Etc.
Yeah.
But in the mainstream normie public eye who couldn't tell a Dr. Lupo from a Dr. Disrespect, if you ask him to name a hit gamer,
I don't know.
it's most likely gonna be Ninja. He had the good luck of being a top player of Fortnite at the perfect time, when it first started to blow up. As that game shattered all performance numbers and started getting mainstream attention, Ninja was right there in the same breath. The poster boy for both Fortnite and its primary viewing platform, Twitch. It was a perfect storm. A highly addictive esports ready game, a streaming service that was already making waves and getting supercharged by its parent company Amazon, and a brand safe face to frontman the whole thing. Well, mostly brand safe. From there, PR did the rest. As celebrities wanted to get in on the Fortnite game, they were hooked up with Ninja.
Holy shit, he was on Ellen?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, man, you know your main...
He was fucking everywhere, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just surprised that, like a daytime television show that, like, really has no overlap with gaming culture, like, got him on.
But do you think it's, like, because PewDiePie was on Conan?
Like, Conan I can understand.
But, like, he's a late show or whatever.
Yeah. And Conan does gaming stuff. Like, he does Clueless Gamer, which is...
I actually really...
The early ones are really hilarious.
Yeah. But I think it's funny with Ninja especially is that he plays a child-friendly game, so to speak. But I do not really consider him a child-friendly person. Based on his streams and some of his past controversies, which I cannot for the life of me remember right now. But he's not the person who should be, like, fronting such a child-friendly game and going on day shows and shit like that.
Okay.
But he's playing such a child-friendly game. And I think that's what gets him in the door. Like, if you heard that soundbite where he says, "What the fuck you say to me, you little bitch?" Or something like that.
Like, I guess he's, like, yeah, people bring him on just because of the number and the popularity. And, like, once you're on a couple of things like Ellen, like, you just get that stardom to your name. So that's why everyone just keeps calling him to, like, do cameos and do appearances and shit. Yeah, and I guess he just happens to understand how to be the PR version of himself.
Have you seen when Notch went on an American late night show and the host was talking to Notch?
No, I haven't seen that one, no.
So, Notch went on this guy's late night show.
Like TV late night show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that one where the fucking guy has, like, like the talking skeleton in it or some shit like that. And most of the interview was them just sitting there, like, looking at each other awkwardly. And every now and then the host would throw in shit like, "Who are you?" and just start laughing. And it's like he knew absolutely nothing about Notch. Which, probably now that I think of it, was part of Notch's fucking, like, downfall into just, like, hating the fucking world.
To be honest, like, the thing is, the name Notch is much more known than the face Notch. Like, anyone who, like, a lot of gamers, at least more mainstreamy sort of gamers, they know Notch is the Minecraft guy, right? But if you had Notch walk past you, you wouldn't know who the fuck he is. He was just some white guy, right? But yeah, you could sort of pick Ninja out from a crowd. I guess, at least from his hair and stuff. So, yeah, it's just a different sort of celebrity.
Holy shit, that guy's got blue hair.
Like, I guess, like a good comparison is like, Gabe Newell.
Yeah.
Like every PC gamer could immediately recognize his face, right? But yeah, more mainstream people are like, oh, it's just some fat white guy with a beard, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a very niche sort of like celebrity.
You don't hear much from Gabe anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But he generally keeps a pretty low profile on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's really, really pulled back a lot.
I guess because, like, Valve hasn't really had any sort of games in the works. They just really sort of chilled back on that front. Like, I remember they used to be, like they put out, like, a big game or, like, a mod of a game, like, every couple of years.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just been quiet.
Well, like, Valve and Blizzard were, like, the two companies that were really, like, fronting PC gaming.
Yeah.
And so, like, he was really big back then. But now that just, like, he's got a money-making engine in Steam, like, they're not really making anything. And there's a lot of speculation as to what happens at Valve. Are they really making Half-Life? But you always hear that story of, like, all of the desks have wheels on them. And if someone gets bored of working on a project, they just wheel their desk into another department and start working on
like,
that.
I've heard that as well. Apparently, apparently Valve is, like, a really good place, like, for game developers to work.
Yeah, which, like, if I was in game development, that would be sick to work on. But if you're a fan, it's probably, like, the worst fucking thing ever. If you want to see the new Half-Life come out, but it never does because everyone just jumped ship and started working on CSGO or Dota 2.
Well, like, I heard, like, there was an interview done, like, ages ago, where someone said that they almost can't make Half-Life 3 because there's been so much hype for it for so long. There's no way, in any way, that they could even meet, like, the godlike expectation of the fans. I think, like, the quote was, like, the game could come with a free blowjob, and players would complain that they didn't fondle the balls enough. Right? So they can make, like, a fantastic, great value, good game, and, like, it's just, like, there's a certain hype towards it that they can't live up to it, so it's ultimately always going to be a flop, or, not perform as well as the community would like, so that's why they kind of do it. It's kind of like a lose-lose situation. Yeah. So it's better off for them to, like, not make it and just keep that potentially we might make it type deal. But I don't know, maybe within our lifetimes we'll probably see it. Well, I don't know.
We might see something Half-Life-esque come out of Valve, because they might just go for the play of something. Let's make a game that's like Half-Life, but it's not Half-Life. We don't even have anything, like, none of the characters, none of the aesthetic, but just very similar gameplay-wise or something like that.
I don't know. I have a feeling that they would save Half-Life 3 for when they need a big system seller or something. So, like, I don't know what they would produce, like, whether it's like
if they brought out Half-Life 3 with the fucking Steam box.
Well, or like let's say if they made, like, Steam OS or some shit, right? And they want people to migrate over to that and made this, like, Steam OS exclusive, like, they would save a big game like that for like some sort of big platform type deal. Or maybe they want to relieve, like create, like, Steam Plus or some shit, right?
It's at the point now, but where people don't really talk about Half-Life 3 anymore. it used to be the big meme thing. Oh, maybe they'll announce Half-Life 3 at the new E3. Ha ha ha. Like, people used to talk about that shit all the time. Back in like the earlier days of, I'm just gonna say YouTube or whatever. But it seems like everyone's at the point where they're like, okay, it's not coming out.
Yeah,
and no one just no one talks about it.
It's like really old news now, so yeah, no one talks about it. But yeah,
it's not even meme worthy. Anyway, Ninja.
Back to Ninja, right?
Magazine wanted to feature an esports player on its cover. Ninja became the first. When Muppets wanted to present at the Video Game Awards, they were there.
Fuck the Video Game Awards, man.
Wow.
This award is for the best game made outside of the AAA system.
Did you say AAA?
Yeah.
Oh,
AAA.
it's amazing what they do without batteries these days.
After 8 years of streaming, grinding away, it was finally Ninja's time to shine, skyrocketing to 4.
Goddamn, 8 years though, like that's really hanging in there, man. Like I don't know what the like 7 years preceding would look like, but to really hang it in there for like almost a decade, that's a lot of dedication, like a lot of faith that at some point the system's gonna crack, man. Like, it'd be us, like, working on this podcast for, like, 6 years, and we're just like, fucking, oh, yeah, okay, we'll maybe get to a point where we're, like, 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, but it's that final year where we just, bang, we start hitting, like, fucking
holy shit,
million subscribers or some shit, right? Yeah, imagine just holding in there for that long, man.
Now we're a fucking guest on the H3 podcast, and we've been flown to LA.
Nah, man, we're on TV, man. We get cameos and shit. Yeah. But yeah, just holding on for that long is, I couldn't comprehend it. Yeah.
15 million followers on Twitch, becoming the most followed creator on the platform. So, to walk away from all of that, for him to be scooped up by a relatively unknown new platform, well, it's a move unlike practically anything seen in the digital landscape thus far. And so I think a lot of the internet want to know, was this a good decision? Are the millions that Mixer paid to get exclusive rights to Ninja worth it? Is it smart for a creator to just walk away from a fan base of 14 million people? Are we all aboard the Mixer train now? Woot woot! Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the answer only mattered to like one mega streamer. No, what this all really boils down to is the relationship between a platform and its users. Help places like YouTube, Twitch, and yes, even Mixer foster communities of viewers and creators. And I think that there were mistakes made in this whole Mixer Ninja deep.
To be honest, like, I don't really watch Matt Pack's game theories on games anymore, but I do really like his, like, social analysis on platforms and, like, yeah, mainly on platforms, because he, like, he talked about that really good one about how YouTube is killing gaming and shit. Like, those sort of, like, social economic analyses, I really enjoy those ones, so I think I'm going to like this one.
So pay attention, Mixer. Here's a load of free advice. Heck, you don't even need to pay me for it. In answering the question, was this a good decision, we have to ask, was this a good decision for whom? For who? Whom? Let's start with the obvious one first. Ninja. Was this a good idea for Ninja? Yeah, absolutely.
Cha-ching.
It was a great decision on his part. And that's without me even knowing or even speculating what Mixer paid him. Can I make a guess based on my experience, deals that we ourselves have seen, brand context, and relative valuation of view counts? Absolutely I can. But here's the thing, none of it matters. There's something more than dollar figures at play here. The thing Ninja gains out of this is stability. Stability is a luxury that no online creator has. When you start a channel on YouTube or Twitch or wherever, you need to remember that you're building your house on someone else's land, and that at any point they could just repossess that land. Shifting algorithms, brand safety regulations, you name it, that is them reclaiming the land that your house is built on. And that's all before you even get into the fluctuations of ad rates over the course of a year. You know how every November and December people pump out a bunch more of their best videos, and then in January they basically take the month off? It's all because of ad rates. Ad rates plummet in January and are at their highest in November and December.
Note to self, make more content in November and December. I'm definitely going to do that.
View depends on everything. The time of year, what vertical you work on, the title of the frickin' video. That is how unstable everything is here. But Twitch is even more volatile because your primary revenue isn't dependent on brands who just are spending bunches of money on YouTube as a platform. Instead, it's dependent on fans. A couple thousand fans paying you, and specifically you. And fans can be finicky. In the past, Ninja has gone up.
Want to know the struggles of streaming over other jobs? I left for less than 48 hours and lost 40k subscribers on Twitch. I'll be back today and grinding again. Wow. Oh, because, yeah, subscribers, not followers. Lost 40,000 subscribers?
But they have to wait till the fucking end of the month or some shit.
Yeah. No, like...
But they can unsubscribe. But there's...
Twitch subscribers recur in, like, certain periods, not at the start of the month, right?
It deducts at the start of every month for that month.
For Twitch? I know Patreon works start of the month. I'm not sure about Twitch.
Oh, I get charged at the start of every month.
Okay.
Well, I get charged on the day of that month when I subscribe.
Yeah, so it's recurring, but not necessarily at the start of the month. Yeah.
On record saying that taking 2 days off of his streaming schedule cost him 40,000 paying subscribers, which at minimum means him losing $100,000 of monthly revenue just like that.
It's free USD for each 40, so yeah, it's like 120k.
That doesn't feel like instability, I don't know what is. So, in order to maintain a level of success he had on Twitch, he was practically chained to his desk, playing the same game over and over and over and over again for 12 hours a day. But
as crazy as it sounds, like, fucking 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds are like, oh yeah, why would you ever stop if you're playing video games all the time? They don't realize really how fucking soul draining it is to, like, play games non-stop all the time, man.
God,
Shit.
can you imagine if you got at the point with, like, League of Legends where you were just so sick of it, so over it, but it was the only game your fans would watch, and you had suddenly, like, just blown up from it or whatever?
Yeah, and you're locked into it, right?
And you're locked into it. And it's really hard to, like, diversify your audience into watching you play other shit.
Also, it's kind of annoying because, like, alright, so if people are watching you just for your ability of gameplay, then you don't have to, like, entertain that much, right? Like, if you're just like, oh yeah, I'm the number one top lane or mid lane or some shit, you could just, like, play, not say a fucking word, people just like, oh, these fucking amazing players, right? But if you're an entertainer, then you're fucked, right? Because, like, you have to fucking entertain. You gotta, like, talk shit and joke and all that stuff, and that just drains so much energy, man.
Oh yeah.
Man, like, yeah, like, at least with a dead-end shitty job, you can just half-ass it. Especially when you don't have to talk to people, but you can't half-ass a stream if you're there as, like, an entertaining or variety streamer.
But even then, there's no guarantees. It's no secret that Ninja's Twitch stats were going down. According to statistics from TwitchTracker.com, April of 2018 was his peak, with his streams netting on average 125,000 concurrent viewers. Fast forward exactly 1 year to April of 2019, and that number was a fourth of that, with each stream only netting in 36,000 viewers on average. But again,
that's not that high, yeah.
Ultimately hinges on them paid subscriptions, and as you can imagine, them subscriptions were also falling away. Again, using data pulled by Twitch Tracker, we see that March of 2018 was his peak. 285,000 paying subscribers on his channel. That is a huge number for just one guy. I mean, for comparison,
almost a mil.
WWE, you know, the company that pretty much owns the sport of wrestling, Hulk Hogan style, I'm gonna throw you in a trash can, brother. They have 1.2 million subscribers to their service, so for Ninja to be pulling a fourth of that, it's pretty darn impressive. But then, again, fast forward 1 year to March of 2019, you've got yourself a number that is down to a mere
60k. What a pov bastard.
A year later to 20. I mean, it's still great, don't get me wrong, 20,000 people paying to watch your stuff, that's amazing, but it's less than a tenth of what it was just 12 months prior. That is a huge blow to your monthly income. Add to that the declining popularity and relevance of Fortnite, as well as Ninja's challenge of getting his audience to care about any other game other than Fortnite that he happened to be playing.
Okay, so you played a whole bunch of other shit. Oh, you played like a little bit of Final Fantasy 11? I didn't know there was service for that still going. And it's just sweet fuck all viewers. Like PUBG, he only got 4,000 viewers on average.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Blops 4 did alright, but that was probably just when they launched their Battle Royale
Yeah,
mode.
and everyone was on that.
Dr. Disrespect was playing a bit of that. So we probably got crossover there, but...
And the writing is on the wall. But then Mixer comes around with a guaranteed paycheck for some undisclosed 7 or 8 figure amount, presumably over the course of a few years, and you've got yourself stability. Stability that truly can allow
It looks so
Get
bad.
back in touch with my roots.
I mean, this deal should set him up to retire or work for fun for the rest of his life if he's smart, and wasn't already set from that unbelievably great 2018 that he had. Heck, if he or his team are smart and good at negotiating, they probably should have also had a deal that gives him a percent of the earnings from all other creators who come onto Mixer during the month following his...
They would have fucking told him to piss right off there. Real hard to get equity deals. Like, real hard to get equity deals, especially in big companies. All those investors, they want that equity so bad. They would have paid him money instead of like any of this shit.
Switch because they came over to Mixer, probably because of him. Over on the consulting side of what we do, we've been talking to a lot of successful creators lately on exit strategies. How to successfully get off the treadmill of content that is digital video, YouTube, Twitch, or otherwise. And well, in Ninja's case, the numbers were sagging and he sold high.
Not gonna lie, I have thought about that as well. Yeah, it's like, work on that YouTube, get the views, but you got to figure out, at some point you got to exit strategy, because you can't be a fucking 45, 50-year-old person just playing video games for the last 20 years, man. At some point you got to like transition that into like sell some shit, man. But yeah.
Just like change your platform or something like that. Like if you're a gamer and then you like hit that big 40, at what point do you like start your like podcasting career or something like that?
Yeah. Or like ways to earn income that isn't directly with just your viewers on YouTube. So like, for example, Philip DeFranco has like a whole bunch of shit. Like even though he makes his content every day, but now he's like making a shit ton of content by like all those like those daily games that he sells and like a whole bunch of other shit that he sells. So he's just diversifying a whole bunch of our business. So at some point you can just be like, peace out guys, thanks a lot, but I've got these other businesses I've built on.
Well, hopefully when we get to that point where, I don't know, designing our own card games or something.
Yeah, something like that.
What he should have done. So Ninja's decision, I mean, maybe I would have suggested thanking the fans a bit more than he did, but still, definitely the right choice. For Mixer, though, the situation is a lot more nuanced. I mean, after all, they're a part of Microsoft, a multinational corporation. They're not just a single streamer who can retire after a couple years. So the interests there are going to be a lot more complicated. As far as Mixer is concerned, their goals are the same as any video platform. Build a community of users, both viewers and creators, and then find a way to monetize that community via a combination of advertisers and fan donations. Now, whether Mixer is getting those things is something I'm about to talk about a little bit later, but there is one thing we know right off the bat from this move. Mixer exists. One of Mixer's biggest hurdles since launching back in 2016 has been making their presence known in a way that gamers and the rest of the world...
That is very true. Like, the simple... Like, if they brought a big streamer over, and, like, look, if you're a big streamer and you're getting paid to move over, like, if that company said that as a part of this payment, you don't disclose anything about your business deal, they could have done that. 100% Ninja would agree to that. But the fact that they were totally cool with, like, saying that he was being paid to come over, that inherently created news within itself. Mm-hmm. Much more news than just, like, Ninja announcing it himself. But all these, like, news outlets are, like promoting, which means that Mixer actually got a stupidly large amount of exposure from all the news, not necessarily just directly from Ninja himself. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's so many like 40 chess, like 600 IQ moves where you just do one thing, but you do it with the specific idea that this one little domino is just gonna knock 50 other dominoes and do like a million other things, man.
World care about. As someone who's been attending E3 since 2013, the biggest gaming expo in the country, I've certainly seen that Mixer's been there for the last 3 years with a prominent and not altogether exciting booth. I always pass by it in the hallway and I'm like, there's Mix. Oh my gosh, Nintendo has a rock wall this year? That's pretty much it. Meanwhile, on the same expo floor as E3, Twitch has a massive purple behemoth of a booth in the middle of the action where they're featuring clips from their biggest streamers, like Ninja. But now that story is suddenly flipped on its head. Looking for Google Trends results for Mixer over the last 30 days, it's clear that Ninja's decision to jump platforms caused a major spike in searchability and almost doubled the ongoing search traffic for Mixer moving forward. You remember my Google Stadia video where I talked about YouTube killing violent video games and I spoke a lot about the power of earned media? Well, everyone covering Ninja's move here, that is all earned media for Mixer. So at least now, twice the number of...
I'm on the ball. I know what he's talking about.
People are looking for Mixer than they were pre-Ninja. Pretty pretty good boost. Using some comparison search traffic between Mixer and Twitch, it's also clear that this was a smart move for Mixer to poach someone who's primarily on Twitch rather than on YouTube. Compare Twitch to Mixer and you can see that in terms of publicity and search traffic, Mixer has been within striking distance of Twitch for quite a long time. Compare the two of those to YouTube though, and it's clear that Mixer doesn't have a chance to compete with Google's juggernaut, even when YouTube isn't considered a great platform for live streaming. By grabbing up Ninja from Twitch though, Mixer actually spiked above Twitch in search for the first time ever, thereby forcing people who thought of Twitch as the only viable streaming site to get to know Mixer too. And while search results just look like lines on a graph, they translate to an industry of shifting priorities out in the real world. I mean, most people don't see a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that happens around YouTube talent, but at this point there are full teams of managers, agents, and marketers who are all trying to get their creators into the next big thing. So when Ninja made the jump to Mixer, managers and agents heading up gaming creators, as well as the creators themselves, all started saying, you know, I probably should have...
See, that's my biggest problem that I have, is that, like, I'm pretty good with businessy sort of shit, so I would like to be hands-on and deal with my own business administration, deal with my own business deals. But if I'm the star of my own content, it's really difficult for me to, like, find a person that I want to just pawn that sort of important shit off to. Man.
A contact at Mixer. I should make sure I know what's going on over there. While what we hear is anecdotal and comes through the consulting that we do know that those conversations are starting now. And those conversations happening is just huge for a platform that didn't exist in the public's eye just like a couple months ago. All of a sudden, you are at the table. You are in contention. You have a shot. You have a ton of important people in the gaming and digital video industry reaching out to your platform because you, Mixer, might just be the next big thing. While anecdotes are buzzy though, what really tickles my theory bone is hard data. Sites like Twitch Tracker have done some fascinating comparisons about Ninja's first couple of weeks on Mixer that have shown not just how he's doing, but how the platform is benefiting from him being there. Over the past couple weeks, Ninja's streams on Mixer have accounted for 32.1% of all viewership on Mixer, which means that he is single-handedly holding up a third of that platform.
Carrying the
platform.
platform.
Number because I'm going to go back to it in a minute. But for now, suffice it to say that that is a huge percentage of views. What's more, Twitch Tracker reports after Ninja's initial streams, about 6% of his audience, accounting for a little less than 2% of the total site's traffic, stuck around to watch a few other streamers, meaning that the rest of the platform has indeed gotten a little bit of extra viewership spillover from Ninja. I mean, 6% may not seem like all that much. It actually comes out to be about 130,000 people total.
That's not much.
The bank or anything, but that number could be huge if those people do indeed come back on a regular basis and expose themselves to more Mixer creators. And if that 130,000 people talk to their friends about how much they like what they see...
This is the thing that really boggles my mind. Like the shareability of content between people to people. Like, I do not know anyone who's like, oh yeah, like, I followed this person on Twitch. You guys should, like, join our community and watch as well. Like, I don't know how... I've literally never heard or seen anyone who's just, like, shared content, like, shared that sort of content with people, man. Like, when you share, like, YouTube videos now, you usually share it because it's, like, some sort of spicy or really funny video. You don't just, like, share a video because you like that YouTube creator, right? It's not like, like, I don't know, like, let's say if I really like Death Battle or some shit, right? It's not like, oh, like, I watch every episode, but it's not like every episode I watch, but like, oh, great episode, guys, share it on my page. Or like, yeah, so it's like, I don't understand the shareability of videos, at all. Who even does it, man? Who shares videos?
People share just like viral, like one-off shit.
Yeah, right?
Because it's, like it's funny or something like that, or it's interesting, or they have a hot take on something, or whatever, like, oh, fuck, did you guys know about this, or blah, blah, blah. I don't know anyone who goes, bro, I watch fucking this guy's videos all the time. You need to watch them as well. He'll let me send you a couple. And even, I think that's even less likely to happen if you run a stream.
Yeah, man.
Because on a stream, you're sitting there for like fucking 7 or 8 hours playing that entire time. And the difference between running a stream and uploading like a 10-minute YouTube video, it's like if you uploaded like stream highlights or something to YouTube,
then
you're getting like 10 minutes of the best bits.
Yeah.
But in that but that's like 10 minutes out of like a 7-hour sitting. Like, how do you share with someone a stream and go, hey, watch this stream, and then they sit there watching it and they're like, okay, when is something interesting going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, looking at these numbers, that 130,000 people, like, doesn't multiply that hard, in my opinion.
That percentage can compound with time. Clearly then, Mixer has received a huge boost in PR, a direct viewership increase from Ninja, and an incremental gain from viewers sticking around on the platform. So Ninja cashes out and Mixer is suddenly in the mix, so to speak, thereby making it a win all around, right? No. Absolutely not. I firmly believe...
What's the twist now? Ooh.
That Mixer has made the wrong move here. That the tens of millions that they put into Ninja were ultimately flushed down the drain.
Whoa, big call, Matt.
Put through the shredder, like just a really dumb, silly, short-sighted move. But to truly understand why, we need to go into the economics of digital platforms and look at the fundamentals of what makes an online community work. And that, my friends, is a long enough discussion to merit a second episode. Trust me, if you're a creator or have ever wanted to become a creator...
There is a second episode where he talks all about Mixer, but I just want to point something out. Look how long's left on the video.
Yeah, 3 minutes left, right?
There's another 3 minutes left, right? So you're led to believe, right? Okay, so is he going to say something more about Mixer? Keep playing.
YouTuber, or Facebooker, or Mixer, or linked influencer. Yeah, that's a real thing. A linked influencer. So, why is this deal doomed to fail? We'll continue that discussion next Thursday. Oh, hey! Fridge full of sponsorship cash. Good to see you again. What are you doing here? Oh yeah, that's right! It is time for your promo. Thanks for reminding me. Not all of us are fortunate enough to be paid millions of dollars by energy drinks and mega corporations for one good year of playing one single game after all, so thanks for being here. Have you, loyal theorists, ever heard of the book Extra Lives?
Okay, so this is all just, the rest is just like an Audible ad, right?
It goes forever. Like
2 minutes or some shit, right? Yeah.
It literally just keeps going and going and going. Look, it's still going.
Holy shit, that's a long one, man. Usually it's just like a 20, 30 second type thing.
It's the rest of the video till the 17:23 mark.
So it's like 2.5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
That is the length of this ad. Now, what bothers me about this video is not so much the statistics or what he says or anything like that. First of all, I'll say this. He dropped at the very... Like, he said this is a great deal for Mixer and blah, blah, blah. But then he dropped right at the end of it. Sorry, good deal for Ninja, blah, blah, blah. Then he drops right at the end of it. Terrible deal for Mixer. Really bad. Like, the worst deal you could ever make in the history of deals.
Yeah, yeah.
Drops that right at the end. Doesn't provide any of his, like, facts and statistics at that point. He goes into it in the following video, coming out a few days later.
Yeah.
What you get at the very end of the video is the longest ad Matt Pat has ever put in. Longer, even than, for his own merch. For Audible. A company owned by Amazon. A company that owns Twitch. And he even, like plugs them slightly at the start of the video.
It's like,
Audible cash fridge. And then again here.
It's like, if you make a joke about it, then it's totally okay for you to then, like, plug them, right?
Yeah, right? And I was listening to that, and I was like, hang on, don't fucking Amazon own Audible? And then I was looking at the comments, and no one was saying shit. And so I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's no one fucking noticed.
Like, you can moderate comments now. Like, YouTube, like, creators get, like, a whole bunch of tools that they can do it with.
So, this motherfucker, right or wrong, has been, like, whether his statistics and his facts are true or not, or no matter what he says, and look, I'll say this, it's very easy to, like, cherry pick your statistics so they work in your favor.
Yeah, yeah.
And someone can upload the exact same video that he's done, but cherry pick the statistics to work in Mixer's favor. I'm not saying I think this was a great deal for Mixer, but I don't think this was a fucking very detrimental deal for Mixer.
Like, yeah, it didn't send them back. It's just ultimately like the question is, what is the rate of return for the money that they put in, right?
Yeah. This guy has uploaded a video that basically looks like he has been paid by Mixer's competitor to shit on Mixer and say, don't go to Mixer, don't do anything with Mixer, it was a bad idea, Mixer are stupid, etc., etc. great deal for Ninja. Oh, he's fucking laughing right to the bank because he took you all for a fucking fool. But he's saying that while he's being paid by the competitor. So whether he's right or he's wrong, there's this little bit in the fucking back of your head that goes, but you were paid to say that.
Yeah, it's like, are you objective in saying that, or are you just saying it because you're getting paid to do it, right?
Now, there's a lot to also consider there, like in his favor, in that Audible sponsored just about fucking everyone. Like, when you're listening to Upstart podcasts and things like that, Audible is one of the first ads you always hear for these kind of things. Like, so it's like, yeah,
it's
right.
not really a sponsorship, it's a referral program.
Yeah.
So they're not paying you up front. They're only paying you for business that you refer to them. So a lot of business can do that real easily.
Yeah.
But here, this is definitely one of those situations where they paid him up front for like a contract. So this is an actual sponsorship as opposed to like a referral link, in my opinion. Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought a bit. The other thing to consider is that MatPat doesn't really stream on Twitch. MatPat streams entirely on YouTube. He's the biggest streamer on YouTube.
Yeah.
But like this whole video, and I didn't notice the plug at the very start. I only noticed like this massive one at the end and I watched the whole thing and it just kept going and going and going and going. And it occurred to me, this ad for Audible was like 3 times as long as the ads he normally puts in the middle of his videos for his own merch. He is plugging Audible harder than he is his own product.
Probably because that was specified in his contract.
I know, but I just think that was such a... Like, this is MatPat, right? The guy who's supposed to be so fucking, like, in the know about YouTube and how it works and like, the audience and all this kind of shit.
He's got a side business that, like,
why would he do something so fucking dumb?
It's not dumb.
It's so dumb.
How is this dumb? It's
just like...
It's him getting paid money.
That hurts your credibility on the platform so bad.
It's okay, so like you're talking about like the credibility side.
Yeah. Like, is he just like to me it feels like someone just like burning your audience.
Yeah.
And not like being so obvious about it and not caring. And it's like it's no.
I'm not sure how much it like look, like definitely from my perspective, I take a grain of sand with salt from what he said because of the sponsorships and the relationships of those parties.
Yeah.
I don't think this necessarily hurts his credibility in general.
Look, I think most of his like statistics and everything are pretty sound, and the follow-up video that he's done isn't sponsored. And you know it's not sponsored because it's in like the rules of YouTube. If you are sponsored, if you are getting money, you have to disclose that in the video. It's not good enough to just like put it in the comments. This video was sponsored by whoever.
Yeah, it's a requirement by YouTube.
You have to say this video is sponsored by G Fuel or whatever. And I will say the statistics in the following video not very well in Mixer's favor, but I think Mixer and I kind of do see it as well as a bit of a long-term thing. He brings up the Super Bowl in particular. I think he did a video on the Super Bowl a while ago.
Yeah, about the advertisement space, yeah.
So, like, people who spend all that money on a Super Bowl ad, like Doritos or whoever, their sales go up, but then they drop again really quick. I can say enough just by looking at, like, the graph he puts up. Nah, that's the wrong one. Yeah, wherever it is, but, like, when he was showing the graph of, like, Mixer's searchability, it did seem like, you can't really see it, but, like, it starts pretty low, it spikes.
Yeah,
right, it spikes, there was a lot of hype around it at the moment, and it drops again, and looking at this, it looks like it goes back down, but from what I can see, he doesn't blow it up big enough, but there's probably not enough.
Yeah.
It looks like it evened out slightly higher than they originally were.
Yeah, well...
So you can say, if you want to cherry pick some data and say this was a good deal for Mixer, the statistics and searchability would show that when it evened out, it was still slightly higher than where they were originally.
Yeah.
Which is a net gain for Mixer. And it does sort of put them on the map a little bit more.
I get that. Well, I guess we'll talk more about it in the next part video when we do get to that at some stage, probably next week's episode. But like, here's the thing though, right? They've got Mixer's a company. Mixer is a business that has people there, so you have ongoing operating costs, right? So if you are not planning to fight or to win or to get into the game, you might as well just sell your business, because otherwise you're just burning cash every month, right? So like at some point you gotta at some point of your business you gotta either decide, cool, we either sell everything, get the fuck out of here, or we gotta double down, get the money in there, and like actually fight a battle to get into the game, right? And this is like what they're doing. So I'm not sure about the strength or the return on their investment, but they either had to go big. They either had to go big or get out. So I don't think it's a bad decision. I just think, like, I'm just questioning the like quality of their investment.
I mean, if it's 10 million, like, I see that as a pretty inflated number. And one of the things Matt talks about in the follow-up video is, what if instead of spending 10 million on one person, they spent 10 million on a lot of different people?
Yeah, but like,
and brought a whole bunch of people over instead of just the one.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
But they went for the biggest guy on the platform, right?
If they went 10 million for one guy, they only have to deal with one set of administration, have one guy deal as his agent or his manager. And so all these like transactional costs are much, much lower, right? If they go for even 10 guys, now you got to hire a whole bunch of people to spend time on dealing with each one of them. The like, out of that 10 million, if 10 million in this case is used, okay, let's say if their budget was like, then 10 million is all going to Ninja, they might have had to spend an extra 5 or 10 grand on top from just like people, like administrative fees, right? But if they went for like 10 Twitch users, if they still had that $10 million, they would have to spend like $50,000 or some shit on like administration fees, like significantly more on administration fees and time and people, right? And that's an ongoing liability. It's just like time, effort, and resources. It's and like, look, Matt Pat's very much a community and people driven sort of guy. So he's always about, spread out the money, but like sometimes you got to make like the big players, man. Like big players push sales, move people around. Like, I don't know. It's really hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't think it's a bad decision. But like, I don't think like I don't know how strong it is, but it's definitely not as bad or as egregious as Matt Pat put it, like at the conclusion of this video.
Flushing down the drain.
Yeah, man. But I guess we'll conclude this next time.
Yeah.
So as for the next video, what do we got? Now we get to movie trailer parts, right? So recently, some of our videos have been getting flagged for for copyright, which means that they just take our ad revenue, not that we're even getting any ad revenue. So my answer to that is, like, it's either we have no more movie trailers, or we have multiple movie trailers. They can't all fight each other. So I'm gonna see what's gonna happen, like when we get copyright claims.
It's purely for research and not for your entertainment.
Yeah. So we got a video trailer for Joker.
Yeah, I really like this trailer. They've been making some really good trailers for this movie.
Like I heard really good things about this movie, actually.
Yeah, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10.
Oh shit.
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you.
Who the fuck laughs that way, man? Like, if I heard anyone laugh that way, I would actually be freaked out. I would actually just back off slowly.
I heard he practiced that laugh by going to like psych wards and shit like that, and just listening to crazy people laugh.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
Whoa! Look how he just like stops laughing, like how just like.
Whoa. Let's rewind the playback. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, like
this is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week.
Like, how come? All right, so there are bad people in society. I'm not gonna put that. Like, I'm not gonna disregard that. But like, people who are just pulling pranks and being like general douchebags, like how come they're portrayed so much worse in movies? There's like the general pranksters. They won't. I don't feel that they try to go out of the way to hurt people. They just want to fucking mess around with you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to be a real fucking like asshole, not even a prankster, to like look, smack this guy with a sign and knock him out, right?
Having any negative thoughts. All I have are negative thoughts.
You guys out there, if you have negative thoughts all the time, go seek help. Which
professional help.
Professional help. Oh, which actually makes sense because this chick is like, oh, yeah, this is the last time we'll be seeing each other, and he's like, clearly he needs more help.
And she's like denying him help. That's just like to cake on like how bad it's getting, that the people who are actually paid to help him will not be helping him anymore.
Wow.
But there's probably like more, I don't know, like,
more psychological undertones and shit to this.
So I hear that this movie is actually really ambiguous in the way it's like
whether he's a protagonist, antagonist type.
No, like the way it's set up and the flow of time in the movie. And what happens is, like, did that actually happen, or did that happen in a dream? Like,
okay.
So they're keeping, so they found a way to make this movie, but also keep that ambiguous Joker story, because everyone fucking and their fucking puppies talks about how, and I don't know why they say this, because they say this just because they heard someone else say it. The Joker's more interesting if you don't know his backstory. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that's just something people say because they heard someone else say it, and because they love the fucking Dark Knight portrayal by Heath Ledger so much that he had like, oh, you know how I got these scars, and it was a different story every time.
I think, yeah, people say like, oh yeah, there's a certain degree where you, certain degree of mystery to a character that makes him intriguing, but I don't think that necessarily makes him a better character. I think it's just that I feel the writers don't think that they can write a good reason story to why he becomes like he is. But
a lot of them
these guys,
but the thing about comic books is that like Batman you read in a comic that came out yesterday,
the origins change.
Is a very different Batman to the Batman you read in
Golden Age and Silver Age. Yeah. But yeah, okay.
So I'm very keen for this movie.
In a world where everyone thinks they can do my job, check out this guy. When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now. You can say that again, pal.
What a douchebag thing to do, man.
Yeah.
Right?
So he sent in his like audition tape.
How do you know so much about this movie, man? Okay.
He sent in his audition tape because, like, the late night host or whatever, like, probably got a lot of them, and he's a funny guy. Robert De Niro's character is also based off another character from another movie in this one. So he just played his audition tape to make fun of him.
Okay.
Like if someone like put up a viral YouTube video and said, "Wow, look at this idiot! Airsoft fatty fell over a fucking broom."
Oh man.
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
Think this is funny? Is this a joke to you?
That was Thomas Wayne, by the way.
Ooh, okay.
He was just punched him.
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
Oh.
The clowns. I'm so keen for it.
Yeah.
It looks so good. The reviews came out super early, but the reviews are positive.
Seems like it's going to be like a psychological... I wouldn't say thriller, but like one of those psychological movies where you're trying to piece together, kind of like Fight Club. Yeah, so that's going to be real interesting. I'm pretty keen for that. Next movie trailer, Terminator Dark Fate.
Now let's look at something way worse.
I like Terminator. Up to number 2. The rest of the franchise is garbage. Like, everyone agrees. Holy shit, that's loud.
If you can't be good, be loud.
Talk fast.
Man, she's old. I forgot what her name was.
In the movie? Sarah Connor.
No, I know she's Sarah Connor, but I forgot the actor's name.
Yeah, so did I.
It's kind of like Carrie Fisher from Star Wars, man. It's like when you watch the original movies where they were stars, they're like all young, but now like they're starring as like kind of side characters passing on the like torch. They're all like old as shit, man.
Yeah, she's so old that she's dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
My name is Sarah Connor. August 29, 1997. It's supposed to be Judgment Day.
The interesting thing to note is you don't see John Connor in this entire movie trailer. So it's like, what the hell happened to him, right?
But I changed the future. Saved 3 billion lives. Enough of a resume for you? No. You may have changed the future, but you didn't change our fate.
Oh man. It's like the liquid metal Terminator from Terminator 2, but now it's like mixed with, looks like Venom symbiote shit or like prototype shit. Gotta return naked.
Never seen one like you before. Almost human. I am human. Just enhanced.
Oh well, they've done that before.
Why do you care what happens to her? Because I was her.
Why'd she stop him? He's a Terminator, so clearly it doesn't matter. It's just
Well, here's the thing. I heard that he was playing a guy. Like, he wasn't actually playing a Terminator.
Okay.
I heard he was the guy that the T-800 was based on. One thing I don't
the
get...
Fact Fiend episode?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Having said that, I think this trailer reveals that that's not true, that he is actually playing T-800.
Yeah.
And secondly, she should not get that fucking freaked out when she sees Arnie. She was that freaked out in Terminator 2 when she saw him.
Yeah.
Because she was getting hunted by that thing.
In Terminator 1.
The last time she
yeah.
saw it. But at the end of that movie, she made amends with it.
Yeah.
Because it's why Terminator 2 is so good. Like, she was, like, becoming more of a Terminator than the actual Terminator was. Because she was so hell-bent on stopping Judgment Day that she was going to kill fucking Dyson.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, that's happening. Her son is bonding in a
with a machine that's learning to care and love for him.
Yeah,
like a father would be.
And she
like...
had this big thing because she monologues to herself in the whole throughout the whole movie,
man.
Where she says the machine would never hurt him, never do anything to him, etc., etc. And she was slowly working that out.
Massive change of heart.
Really good development in the second movie that goes deeper than what the first one was, which was, like, in my opinion, the first one was a better, like, cat and mouse game than the second one was.
Yeah, kind of setting up the universe.
But having said that, the sequel did so much more in terms of going deeper,
relationships and
really
themes,
working on characters and shit like that, and nothing beyond that point was able to recapture that.
Yep.
She should not be this fucking on edge when she sees Arnie.
I can see you're very upset. I'm going to help you protect the girl.
Nobody else is gonna die because of me. If you don't make it, everybody...
But whoa, okay. So let's say if she's not freaked out to see him, what happens? Potentially, she could be just mad at him because we don't see John Connor at all. Maybe that Terminator is somehow inadvertently responsible for John Connor's death. Maybe it was like a future programming for him. It's like, oh yeah, I've been given instructions from the future to like protect you instead of John Connor in this situation, and he inadvertently caused John Connor's death, which is why she might hold a grudge against him.
Or like there might be like more to learn or some shit like that.
Yeah, so
like there might be some kind of like flashbacks to explain how it was like Skynet managed to launch a successful time travel program where they killed John Connor, but then Sarah like took up the reins or some shit like that. We're totally like theorizing right now.
But the fact that we're theorizing is good because like Terminator movies, a lot of them have a twist to it. This is the first time where they don't just give you the twist, because that's what they complained about the trailer for Terminator 2, where they're like, oh, first he was there to hunt her, now he's there to protect her, and James Cameron got so pissed off they gave away the massive twist in the movie.
Yeah, because like the way they were setting up the trailer, and even the way this, like if
it was ambiguous who was going to.
If I ever show my kids Terminator 2. I don't want them, like, I'll show them the first one, and then I'll show them the second one, and I do not at all want them to know, at any point prior to, that Arnie is the good guy in that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good opening where both the T-1000, whose name I keep forgetting, much like Sarah Connor's actor, and Arnie are both closing in on John at the same time.
In that,
and he pulls out that shotgun,
that corridor,
and slows down, and then he says, "Get down."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like same thing happened with Terminator Genesis as well, where it's like,
what happened, John?
Yeah, and like they gave it away in the trailer, right? It's like, oh yeah, it's like I became one of them, so like they couldn't defeat me, so I became one of them, and so that was a big dead giveaway. So the simple fact that this movie trailer doesn't give us enough to understand what's going on is probably a big plus, at least from the trailer perspective.
Expect a big pain, brother. Whole body's a weapon. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like got the prototype tentacles.
When this is all over, I am going to kill you.
I understand.
See, that's what makes me think he is actually a Terminator.
Yeah.
Also him fucking decking this guy.
I'll be back.
Like I heard that this was supposedly like a true continuation after the second one.
All the time.
Yeah.
They say that. They said that about Genesis.
Yeah.
They're saying it again now.
Well, hopefully they don't fuck it up again.
It's all bullshit. Like, a lot of people are like kind of excited for it, and they're pushing it in the trailers anyway. James Cameron is back.
But he was back for Genesis as well, I think, right?
No, he wasn't.
No,
I
wasn't
think he was. But he's producing this one.
Ah, okay.
The big thing for Genesis was that Arnie was back.
Ah, okay.
Arnie said about the fourth one, Salvation. He said, "I don't want to come back and do it. I think he literally said this. The first three." He said that was a perfectly open and closed story, and I don't think there's any reason to come back to it. But then they brought him back for Genesis, and that was like the big hype thing. Like, Arnie's back for real. They're not just using his likeness to make CGI young Arnie.
Well, be interesting to see how more of the trailers play out.
Yeah, like bits of it look good. They're fucking Terminator. Okay, so like they're infiltration units, I get that. But it's just like some skinny doofus white guy. Terminator 2 was a skinny white guy, but he was cast so well because he was able to be a slim, skinny white guy and still so terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
And this guy's walking up and down like,
because
whole body's a weapon. And he's talking.
he can swagger around, right? Whereas the Terminator 2 T-1000.
And the other thing is, in the trailers, he's getting beat up all the time. Every shot they have of that Terminator in the trailer, he's getting beat on.
Yeah, except when he's in that prison and he's just fucking walking while everyone's holding him back and he's just fucking stabbing him.
Who cares about the fucking extras, right?
Yeah.
Like, they should be putting up... if they're going to put shots of him up...
He should be fucking shit up, right?
He should be... Yeah. He should be really fucking up Arnie. He should be fucking up the chicks. They should be running from him, scared of him. But it seems like he's just an annoyance.
Yeah.
More than he is a serious threat. And then he's just some doofus fucking guy who seems so badly cast for the role.
Did you know... I'm pretty sure that this is a thing. I think it was Robert or Patrick something. The guy who played T-1000 in Terminator 2. He didn't blink for almost the entire movie.
Yeah, no. His audition tape was just him staring at the camera.
Yeah. Because it's oh yeah, I'm a robot. Why would I need to blink, right?
Yeah. No, he was arguably a better fucking antagonist than Arnie was.
Yeah.
He played it so well. But also he was written into scenes really well and he wasn't overused. And his ability was just so fucking OP. The liquid metal thing. Every Terminator they've made after that has not been as good as he was.
Yeah. I guess one more movie trailer, and I forgot what it is, but... Oh, yeah.
Shitty, bad in space.
So, this is I only saw this today, but I saw the meme images of it. You're a bit more a Star Wars fan.
I'm a bit more of a Star Wars fan. My man. Fucking Star Wars fan is one way to put it. Fucking nudity not allowed on YouTube. I don't know. That's the fucking Star Wars fan right here.
Okay.
Fucking shitty, bad in space. And they're trying to fucking bait me with fucking...
Nostalgia
in this fucking trailer. It's the end of a saga. Fucking Mark Hamill's voiceover. Get excited for our movie as we don't play clips from the movie. Now they're finally up to this shit.
They call this movie The Rise of Skywalker, right? But didn't they kind of confirm in the last movie that Rey isn't a Skywalker?
See, when
she was
I watched...
born of the Force or some shit?
When I watched... Okay, so first of all, Anakin's the only one who is, born of the Force in this series.
Yeah.
As per her, parentage and shit like that, the rumor is that she was... So, the theory goes... Anakin was born of the Force by some messing with midichlorians done by Darth Plagueis, Darth Sidious's master.
Uh-huh.
The theory goes, and is supported by him being in this movie, Darth Sidious did the same thing because he had a lot of contingency plans post his death.
Yeah.
And the creation of Rey might have been one of them. But, when Kylo says, oh, your parents were nobody, blah, blah, blah. When I watched the movie, my first thought was, yeah, nah, he's just lying or whatever. But then, everyone was talking about in videos and shit like that. Oh, she's nobody. It's confirmed now she's nobody. Everyone took that as gospel. But I was under the impression that he was not being truthful with her because of how just thrown out there it was.
Mm-hmm.
Something that is that quote-unquote important should not be explained away with a throwaway line. So I was under the assumption, no, he's not telling the truth, or no, this is important. Kylo's just fucking around. If the Sidious thing is correct, it's entirely possible that, yeah, her parents were nothing because Shmi Skywalker was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She had Anakin off of some crazy Jesus birth caused by Darth
Plagueis,
Plagueis, right? So, yeah, she probably, if that theory is true, she probably is the daughter of nothing. but Kylo wouldn't know by touching her or looking into her past. Oh fuck, that's the daughter of fucking Darth Sidious. Oh my god, or some shit like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good to get the inside perspective.
But look, we're halfway through the trailer, right?
And you don't really see any new footage.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're more than halfway through the trailer. Now we are finally seeing something from the new movie. And this is the final trailer, I'm pretty sure.
The story of a generation, eh? Kind of sad generation.
Pretty bad. That's fucking some George Lucas post-editing overkill with those Star Destroyers. Another super weapon. They're fighting on some water planet. So, that planet of water is supposedly some place on some planet where the Death Star crashed after it exploded. Because, like, they're gonna visit the ruins of the second Death Star. But what kind of annoys me about it is that both times the Death Stars exploded, because of the visual effects of the time in those movies, the whole thing just obliterated to nothing left. But they're trying to play off in these movies that, oh, there is some scrap metal left. So, where they're fighting looks like the trenches when they did the trench run in the first movie. Looks kind of something like that, because you can sort of kind of see like a turret in the background of their fight. And it is kind of cool that they're fighting on a water planet, whereas Anakin and Obi-Wan fought on a lava planet.
Oh,
it rhymes.
That juxtaposition.
Yep. And then there's some Sidious voiceover. And there's a few different sound effects thrown in there.
Oh man, she's got
and we have to introduce a brand new lightsaber.
But she was wearing a Sith hoodie there.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of like funky shit and like weird stuff people do in like movie trailers. I know the Russo brothers were pretty famous for like bait and switching people with trailers. Like,
okay.
Like they will change things or deliberately not reveal things.
So that could be like
remember in Infinity War the trailer had the Hulk running down Wakanda?
Yeah.
That wasn't actually what happened. It was the Hulkbuster suit.
So there's a possibility that this is just kind of like some sort of force training ghost that Rey could have, like her dark side that she has to beat or some shit, right?
Yeah, it could be something like that. It could be a dream sequence or like a force vision or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Or maybe the bait is that we think that's what's happening, but that is actually what happened. That should have happened in movie 2, straight up. She should have gone to the dark side in movie 2. But they fucked around with movie 2 a bit too much, and so now they're trying to... I don't know how long this movie is going to be, but it's probably going to hit that fucking 3-hour mark.
Do you think they're going to do some sort of like balance of force type thing where she's the last Sith / Jedi?
So, the way the movies probably should have gone, or at least what I think they're kind of going for, Kylo Ren's the bad guy with a bit of a light edge to him. Rey is the person you think is all light, but then in movie 2 she sort of goes to the dark side a bit. But then her and Kylo both come to the light side, or they come together and they defeat Snoke. But Snoke died in the second movie. Rey didn't really go to the dark side at the end of the second movie. Like, she toyed with it a little bit, but she rejected it at the very end of the movie. And now they're trying to play that up again in this movie and go, look, she might be a bad guy. A lot of people are talking shit about her lightsaber right now, which they do pretty much any time a new lightsaber gets introduced, except for, like, Darth Maul. So, the crossguard lightsaber, people gave that a lot of shit, but real talk, the crossguard lightsaber is perfectly fine, makes enough sense to me. A lot of people think if you just, like, cut off those metal bits...
That it's like...
That you would just...
There's no laser inside, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, there's laser under those metal bits, so that doesn't really work. As for her lightsaber, like, she turns it on and it flicks open. So that's a design feature that's been in Star Wars before that's not been implemented by this movie. That lightsaber was in both the Clone Wars cartoon and in Rebels. There was a character called Pong Krell in the Clone Wars cartoon who was this four-armed Jedi from some fuck-off race I don't know the name of. And he carried 2 double-sided lightsabers.
Double-sided lightsabers?
He's got 4 arms, and he was...
Oh, okay.
He was a really sick Jedi, but they folded up neatly on the side.
Yep.
Which I think is a perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable whatever. Rey's lightsaber does that as well, but she lights it up while it's not folded, while it's folded up, and hitting someone with 2 blades is
not that much different.
Yeah, than hitting someone with 1 blade. So I really hope to God she doesn't swing around this double-bladed fucking thing. I remember, like, I was watching this video from Shadowversity, who's an Aussie guy who talks about swords and historical fighting. And shit
Queenslander,
like
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about that weapon. He did bring up a point where, like, he talked about there was no, like, double-bladed swords in any form of history.
Because they're like, pointless.
I would argue, like, you could probably argue the trident, but that's kind of like a pokey thing. It's different. As far as swords go, he mentioned there was like a manga that there was a character who had 2 swords or something like that. But he also...
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember it's in, like, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly, if you slice them 2 parallel scars from nearby, it's really difficult to stitch it together, apparently. Yeah.
But, so, first of all, that adds almost twice the weight to a weapon. Really bad for steel swords and shit like that.
No problem for lightsabers, because light doesn't weigh anything.
Well, yeah, lightsabers don't weigh anything. So, her lightsaber literally weighs as much as any other lightsaber in the canon. Not a hell of a lot more than your normal, just swingy, hitty stick.
Yeah.
When it comes to swords, there was a game theory episode about, like, Wolverine's claws versus Laura's fucking claws.
Yeah.
Because she had 2 and he had 3. So the argument was, because he has 3 blades, although yes, they're adamantium and they cut through just about fucking everything anyway, when you have more points of contact, it's a less effective weapon.
Yeah, the pressure flow, yeah.
Yeah, because it kind of spreads out
your force over,
the force of impact. Still devastating being Wolverine's claws and shit like that. But he said that, like, although, like, Laura is a child, so hers wouldn't hit as hard as Hugh Jackman's would. She also has 1 fucking claw on her foot.
Yeah.
And so she can kick with enough force with a single adamantium blade to actually have a better weapon than Wolverine's claws.
Yeah, especially because legs are way stronger than your arms, yeah.
Again, not really a big deal with lightsabers, but I will also throw in there, we don't really have any, like, kind of tubes or anything like that, but if you put 2 tubes together and try and hold them...
it's hard to hold,
That's not fucking comfortable at all. And it does look kind of goofy when it folds down. And also, based on my knowledge of lightsaber designs, kyber crystals being a focus lens and shit like that, that shouldn't work anyway, because it would have to, like, bend around.
What happens if there's 2 crystals, like 1 on each side of the handle?
So, I think it's they fucking have a lot of deep canon about how fucking lightsabers work and shit
the crystals
like that.
And shit, yeah.
So Kylo Ren has 1 cracked crystal right where the
three things,
the 3
split.
things come out. So it hits it, and then it goes out the 2 exhaust pipes, and that's how he gets that design. I think Darth Maul, this is actually extended universe now, so it's not really canon. Darth Maul supposedly had 4 kyber crystals in his lightsaber, so it's possible he did have that. The thing about kyber crystals, but is they're really fucking rare. They're really, really hard to come by in Star Wars canon nowadays. Back in prequel times, they were fucking everywhere. And look how many Jedi there were for one thing, but they also used to mine it off all these different planets. Jeddah being one of them, Ilum being the other one. They used a shitload of kyber crystals to build the Death Stars. and they've also been outlawed. They were outlawed by the Empire, so a normal person could not own them. Shit like that. So, like, there's just some fucking tidbits I can throw in there. So I don't think she's built a lightsaber with 4 kyber crystals, and they won't even talk about it in the movie. They'll probably just throw it in a fucking novel or some shit like that she built, that she meditated on her lightsaber and built it with 420 fucking kyber crystals.
420 crystals.
So when Luke got his replacement lightsaber in Return of the Jedi...
Because his was originally green and then it went blue?
No, his was blue because he had Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber.
Okay.
He inherited that because Obi-Wan gave it to him. Your father wanted you to have this. He lost it in Empire Strikes Back.
When his hand got chopped off.
He dropped it into a fucking, like, dumpster chute that launched it into a gas giant, and then it somehow turned up in Maz Kanata's castle. He built a new lightsaber modeled off Obi-Wan Kenobi's, but with a green kyber crystal in there. You're probably thinking, how the fuck did he get that? Well, he got that from Obi-Wan's like hut in the desert. He went back to Tatooine and he found a lightsaber in there. That was more than likely Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber.
Oh.
He had a green lightsaber. So that's what fucking... So Luke got another lightsaber, mostly by lucking out. If you go by the cartoons... so I was really into Rebels for a while. Ezra Bridger, who's like the main character of that series, love him or hate him, he's the main character. He got his like, for a lot of the series, he didn't have a lightsaber. He had to practice with this other character's lightsaber because they're really hard to come by. He was given his kyber crystal through a force vision of Yoda within a Jedi temple.
Okay.
So it's not like you just stumble across these fucking things. And it seems like what I'm led to believe is that the ones they do come across are volatile. That's why Kylo's cracks and shit like that.
Yeah, it's not like it's a smooth beam. Yeah.
Hers also cracks and whatever else. There's also a little bit of lore into how a lightsaber becomes red. So it used to be they were synthetic crystals. They were made.
Oh, that the Sith produce. Yeah.
So they don't naturally come in the color red. They'll come in purple. They'll come in green. They'll come in blue or whatever. They changed that in the canon. So now, fucking Star Wars talk lost all our viewers, or one of them. So now to get a red lightsaber, a Sith will pour his emotion into it.
Yeah, it's channeling hate, right?
And bleed the crystal. And that's what turns it red. So it's suggested that another character from the cartoons, Ahsoka Tano, who, fucking great character, by the way, I love her so much, she has completely, like, white-grey lightsabers. She didn't just stumble across white-grey lightsabers. She didn't stumble across any lightsabers. To get those, she killed some of the Inquisitors, who were like Vader's like Jedi hunting agents.
Yeah.
She defeated 2 of them and took the crystals out of their lightsabers, but they were red. But through using them, because she's like a grey Jedi, like she left the Jedi Order, but she's not a Sith, she doesn't believe in the dark side, shit like that, they went grey, which is to signify she's a grey Jedi, or she's the one in the middle, or whatever else. Just a little bit of fun Star Wars lore for all the people out there. There are some pretty cool and interesting stuff in there, but they do not come from the movies. The movies are depressingly bad right now, and I am actually not planning on seeing this movie.
Interesting. Well, I guess we can probably cut that up into a separate clip in the future. I keep saying we're going to do this, but man, we got so many just like quality clips, man. But all right, next video is. Oh, we've got to watch the end of this.
They'll probably throw like some little extra thing in there.
The Rise of Skywalker. What do you think they mean by the Rise of Skywalker,
though? It could be multiple things. It could be that Rey is in fact a Skywalker.
Yep.
And it's like her rise. It could be that it could refer to Kylo coming back to the light side. But I will say that...
What's Kylo's... Oh, it's Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't take Skywalker.
No, his name's Ben Solo.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's Han Solo's child.
Yeah, yeah.
So he has the Solo name, but he is technically a Skywalker by blood.
By blood, yeah.
You could say he's that. You could also say, but I almost guarantee you that this is not what they refer to when they mean it. Luke coming back as a Force ghost. It's the rise of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
More powerful than you could possibly imagine, or some shit like that. I almost guarantee you that is not the direction they are going for.
I wouldn't think so either, yeah.
Because they are trying so hard to push these new shitty characters onto us. So, yeah.
Nah, man,
their titles, Star Wars movie titles are traditionally not... Some of them are obvious, but, like, they're not really that relevant.
Yeah, true. Like Return, like Rise of the Empire or some shit, right?
So Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope. Now, it wasn't... The first one was only called Star Wars. A New Hope came way later. But, like, to call it A New Hope, well, that's a bit obvious. I guess Luke's the New Hope or some shit like that. Empire Strikes Back. Well, okay, so I guess they lost their Death Star and they're fighting back, and that's what this movie's about. The third one, Return of the Jedi. Okay, well, I guess Luke is the returning Jedi. Gets a little, like, for episode 1, The Phantom Menace, it's kind of like, hang on, what the fuck is The Phantom Menace?
Isn't that Darth Maul that's kind of chasing them?
I don't think so. This one's not as obvious, but I think by The Phantom Menace, they are technically referring to Sidious.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because he is, like...
They're trying to figure out who's making these plays in the background, eh?
Yeah, which they could have derived... There's some things in the prequels, love them or hate them. There's a lot they should have drove the point home more on, but it just seems like George Lucas was like, fuck me, look at all this technology, look at all these things I can do. This is stuff I only dreamed of having when I was making the originals. And he went more for the spectacle than on anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are things they should have focused on more in the originals. In the prequels, but they didn't, and it resulted in an overall worse viewing experience. But that world of the prequels, the lore behind the prequels, and everything that was happening there, it's one of those things where, you know when something's bad, but when you think back to it, and some of the things that were in there, and you just think about the potential of those things, you sort of remember it a bit more fondly, and it's sort of like, this is bad, but it could have been so...
It wasn't far off from being good.
It could have been so good, and there's a lot in there, a lot of ideas that it had that I love.
Yeah.
I get none of that from the sequels, by the way. I get none of that feeling from the sequels. Because the first sequel they made was a fucking remake. The second was a mess and a disaster, and they... were basically they were very smug about it too when they made that movie. Rian Johnson is one smug motherfucker. He made a shit movie, and then when people were like, you made a shit movie, he was like, whatever, your Snoke theory was shit. You know, that's something he actually tweeted out. Yeah. Anyway, back to the titles. Attack of the Clones, very obvious, and Revenge of the Sith. The Sith are coming back. It's the Sith's revenge, and it's just more or less a play on Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Which I guess this is trying to be as well, Rise of Skywalker, but...
Well, okay, cool. Next video, I guess.
Actually, one thing some people were saying, and I'll make this quick, is that they want to move away from black or white, light or dark.
Yeah.
And so the new race of Jedi are going to be called the Skywalkers. It's a theory some people had, but I just think it's so dumb.
Alright, next video. We got 6 US citizens versus 1 secret non-citizen. We seem to like
At the end of the video, the non-citizen gets deported.
Stick around for after the episode because we're going to talk about some behind the scenes of Odd Man Out. See you then.
Continue after me. Oh, say, can you see? No, stop.
By the dawn, turn light. By the
I have a feeling that, like, the the one non-citizen, you won't be able to pick it out by like day-to-day culture, because that non-citizen probably has been in America for a long, long time, so they probably know all the like what it's like living in America. But it's just going to be some bullshit technicality that they're a non-citizen. So I reckon they're going to 100% be in the complete wrong direction in this.
We brought together 7 U.S. citizens.
I am a U.S. citizen.
I am a citizen. I am a citizen.
I am a citizen.
I am a citizen.
I am a citizen.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
One is a liar. If the group discovers who the liar is, they'll split a cash prize.
Yeah, it's so difficult to make
If the liar
a
survives,
judgment here.
he or she wins the entire prize.
Alright, guys, work as a team. We have to do this together.
Let's do this real quickly. Where were you born?
Does it matter?
Yes. Where were you born?
California.
Where were you born?
San Diego.
Vancouver, Canada. Dual citizen, U.S. and Canada.
North Cal.
Orange County.
Orange County. And
What about you?
doesn't matter.
What about you?
How about
Doesn't matter.
What about you? Once the timer started, everyone was just like yelling.
He's definitely overcompensating by starting off the questioning.
Wait,
No, but that's very American. If anything, that guy's safe. He's a douchebag through and through. He's like,
You know, they don't have this much time in the. They only get like a few, like
A
30
minute,
sec-
a minute, yeah.
And this guy's trying to throw in the fucking psychology in this early. No,
Are you trying to say
don't fuck around with the psychology in round one.
We've got 27.
he's acting like a very defensive street black guy. So he's probably American.
How long have you been in the U.S.?
What do you think?
What?
I thought the first speed round was awesome. It was really cool. I think I kept my composure and stayed in the street.
Kept my composure. He just came up
Turned
like the,
everyone against him.
he's like clearly you're the biggest dickhead in the room.
Curious. People often look at me as an international man of mystery. You can't tell us where you're from? He looked right into my eyes and said, "I'd tell you, but then I'd have to kill you." Okay, I'm voting you off.
He was kind of shady, but then he made it too obvious. Would they really say that and make themselves stand out?
Yeah,
I
100%.
think he's good.
It's like he's-
He has way too much voice. You're too well spoken for
There's
me.
no information. I thought voting him out, we could just continue the game.
I have a feeling it's one of the girls.
He's just too collected. He's just too well put together.
I thought he was trying to get himself voted up.
He just he fucked himself so hard by being a dickhead.
But at the same time,
But like, it's like it means that other people are like stupid as well. They're like, look, you can't vote him off just because you don't like him. You're trying to vote off the non-citizen here, right?
It seems like a you-know-who level strategy in fucking Werewolf. Let's just try and create chaos.
People just voted so dumb there. Like,
an unforgettable impression on these people.
Everyone feels confident that you already caught the mole. You can end the game now. Raise your hand if you have any doubt and you would like to continue the game.
so, all right, then why the fuck vote for him if you guys still have doubt?
Okay, continue after me. Oh, say, can you? No, stop.
By the dawn, turn light. By the dawn's early light.
To be honest, like I don't give this question much credit, anyways, because there's a lot of people like very stupid about their own culture, man.
Especially young people.
Yeah, man.
Like it's more of an older person thing to like patriotically know the whole fucking anthem off by heart.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm not a singer. Like, I can't sing for the life of me.
You know, part of our culture, you don't have to be able to hit the high notes. So if she were naturalized as a citizen, she would know certain things like
I
this.
wasn't naturalized. I became naturalized and, like, I did not have to sing the anthem. It would have been better if we could have just, like, approached things a little bit more calmly and, like, not, like, sing for me.
I don't think it's the Asian guy.
I don't.
Like white shirt Asian guy.
I feel it might be the second chick on the left.
Because he's talking about like naturalization and stuff.
Yeah,
So it
like,
sounds like he understands
He's
the process.
deducing it. Yeah.
I was born in Chula Vista, which is, like, San Diego.
Yeah, hold on. Before we can make any more assumptions, I think we should get to know each other first. Rather than go into
We ain't got time for that, bro. San Jose. El Camino Hospital.
Have you lived in NorCal all your life?
No, my parents got divorced.
Okay. So where
So
did
you went
go
to
back
different
from?
places?
Jersey, Korea, yeah.
Where in Jersey? Oh, wait, you went to
Morris
Korea?
County, yeah. I can answer everything, but we're wasting time here.
Because he was there any questions.
I think that guy's pretty solid, but like, the simple fact that he's like, oh yeah, like okay, that's enough about me, and try you guys answer some questions. People are going to bandwagon on him.
About him living abroad, I think he brushed over it a little too quickly. And you, Michaela? Sorry, your story.
Yeah, so I was born in Vancouver, Canada, and then I moved to the States when I was 10, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
She's in the clear, so.
Wait,
How do you-
Are one of your parents Canadian, one of them is American, so that's how you have your dual citizen? I got my green card because my dad got a work visa.
Don't answer the
And
fucking
then
question
one
for her, man. That's the worst way to try and to do something for someone.
Yeah.
Is if you explain a story to them, because if they're lying, they just go,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly
that's
what you said.
what
yeah.
I did. How'd you know?
Unless you're baiting them into like a false contradiction.
Yeah, like you feel like if you
So
if
you
you
say-
explain it, but you give the wrong information, and then you go, yeah, that's
Then-
exactly
then
what
you drop
happened.
the bomb, like, oh,
you know, you can't actually get a citizenship like that.
Yeah, man.
I got naturalized October 12th last year.
Yeah, America. Okay, so tell me about
Yeah, America.
Countries are for later, not while you're trying to win money, you know?
Have any of you guys traveled outside of the country?
We all did.
Yes. Okay, but where? Like
I've been to the Philippines.
Philippines. Okay. I've been to London, Canada, Mexico, and Syria.
Syria?
Yeah, I'm Syrian. I'm Syrian.
Oh, really?
See, like I have a feeling on this chick, man. Like I don't know why, but I feel that she's a little bit too pretty considering how everyone else looks in this.
Yes. So how did you get your citizenship? I was born here in Orange County. I visited Syria when I was like very young. I used to because my grandparents used to live there. But
4 minutes, 30 seconds.
I think she was born in Syria and she like grew up here and her parents brought her over. It's so weird that why would like they have a kid in America then like take her over to Syria? I thought the goal was to get the fuck out of Syria.
We have to narrow it down. These two are my biggest suspects right now. You do have Spanish blood in you, I can see.
Yeah, I do have Spanish blood,
See?
but I'm not from Spain.
See,
where are you from?
I'm from Hoboken, New Jersey, but I was born in, like I said earlier, I was born in Havana. He was pointing everywhere but himself. He became too pushy.
Gotta eliminate candidates, right? Yeah. And I see you as naturalized. I see you as maybe born here. I don't know about you 100%, but
I think it's a
after him,
Syrian chick.
Yeah, you're sus. And
You're
then
sus. Oh, we're about
I
to
think
lose.
you're not gonna be a good liar.
People are just voting who they like and who they
In the
don't
environment
like.
That I could hear what people had to say.
There's no reason to vote him off. They just didn't like him.
It was in the best interest of the other citizens to keep me around because I was really here to play the puzzle, the interesting part.
What does it mean to everyone to be American?
Literally just gonna ask
Dude, these people fucking here, the people they bring on, you like. Remember the last one we watched? The guy who was the virgin,
Yeah.
just didn't say shit for pretty much the whole time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just calmly answered any question they gave him, and then he would occasionally like jump in for a bit of a laugh. It seems like that's just the best way to do it.
Yeah, like
Is you just like stay quiet for the whole thing. But if you like really go loud and ask a lot of questions and really try and get as much information out of people as possible,
you put a
they'll
target
just,
on your
they'll
back.
just be like, oh fuck, I don't like you.
Yeah, exactly. Like if anything, it's probably like a good like demonstration of the fact that people who don't know each other are just like shit teammates. Yeah, they can't work out a problem, and they will like they will target people they don't like instead of tackling the problem. Yeah.
Freedom to say whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's all about being who you are, being what you want to be, because in other countries, you can't be transgender. In other countries, you can't even be gay. It's the country of just free expression. Yeah.
It's so not true though.
Like-
But, you know, the highest quantity of trans people in the world, the first is Thailand,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is not in America, and the second is some fucking Arabic country.
Oh yeah, because
Because
it's the only country where it's legal, and so all the like transgenders move there or some shit. Or
It's more so because being gay is illegal, so they present as a woman.
I heard that thing. Yeah.
I can't remember which country it was in, but so
Yeah.
like yeah, you're free to be transgender in America, but like you're pretty much free to be transgender in a lot of different places, and it's not even the transgender hotspot of the world.
This question's like, I think this is a really bad question because I think whoever's a non-citizen, like these people, like think that this non-citizen is someone that's just fresh off the boat, right? That's the wrong way to look at it, in my opinion. I think it's someone who just happens to not be a citizen who's just lived in America for a long time. So they're going to act very much like an American.
Yeah.
So everything they're doing right now about sort of asking people about their American culture or their beliefs, all that sort of shit, is just a complete waste of time because clearly no one's like fresh off the boat. Like, hello, I am American.
I still like my original strategy from last time of just don't ask questions to the group and give everyone a chance to answer it. Just ask everyone a different question every time.
But what sort of questions do you ask to
You should be asking people like, do you have a family? Do you have a wife? Do you have kids? Do you have a girlfriend?
See, like shit like that's right.
Do you have a job? What do you do for work?
I don't know, I see it as such a privilege to be able to like immigrate here when I'm from Canada, which is like I'm not a refugee. I sometimes feel a little guilty being American because like I
feel guilty.
But it's like it's such
you came in the right way. Don't feel guilty.
All of my family's Mexican, and me having the ability to study here, to have a job here, it makes such
She's
a
on a
big
student
difference.
visa.
I was definitely holding back information. Like, I didn't tell anyone that I live in Mexico because I was scared people would turn on me. Like you said, it's a big source of guilt because I look at my cousins back in Mexico.
Why would she say that in the interview part? But
why would she, but here's the thing. So she says it now, though, right? I feel that if she was a non-citizen, she would have just held off saying it at all.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that she mentioned it right now, I think she's trying to open up. So I think she's a citizen.
And they don't have the opportunities that I have.
The other Asian guy's really quiet though right now.
Because I got to be born here.
I can kind of feel the same way. My mom actually grew up in the Philippines her whole life.
Okay, he's just trying to empathize right now.
And he bandwagoned on that. I'm starting to feel more like him.
So she got to move here because of the freedom and opportunity. And so she met my dad, and I was able to be born here. And I think that's just so great that she has given me a life of privilege where she could not. What's the worst thing about America to you?
White supremacy. I would say that's the worst.
Had she not answered the question the way she did, I was not going to vote her out. That's too much of a non-U.S. citizen coming across.
Disregarding politics, the
thing I hate about America is that fucking white people.
But the way he turns on her is like, oh yeah, like I wasn't going to vote for her until she said that.
It makes me feel stronger about him.
People are voting people off out of spite, man.
There is hate, there's negativity, and obviously we can't all have empathy and be positive about everything in the world, but I wish
we threw a bunch of fucking liberals in the room.
The worst thing about America right now is that we have an open border in the South, and we're allowing everybody to come in, and we don't know who's coming in.
All right, that guy's rock solid. That guy's rock solid. If he's bring up the walls, he's definitely a citizen. He's not a non-citizen.
It could be faking that, but I can't.
I reckon he's rock solid.
I don't want to get into the fucking debate of white supremacy and shit in America, but it's just do you really think that fucking nationalism is just so much worse in America than it is anywhere else in the fucking world?
I don't know. I'm not touching that type of subject.
I know.
It's episode 10. We're still finding our feet, man.
No, I want to vote her off.
And most of them are not refugees. I'm a refugee.
Okay.
I came over as a refugee.
There are refugees who do deeply need help, but he didn't take the side of the unfortunate, and I felt kind of sad to hear that.
Refugees don't have cell phones.
She said, I kind of felt sad that she did. So there's potential for her to know the refugee, side of the story.
Yeah.
So maybe the fact that she was born in America might be a lie.
Don't have nice clothes, and don't come over to the United States so they can have an anchor baby. You guys are millennials, you don't agree with me, and that's fine. The best part about America, we're very inclusive.
It's not the first person to tell me that Mexican people should stop coming into the U.S. or that
I feel it's Syrian chick.
People are a threat to American freedom. People in America think that way now. I've become used to it by now.
It's the truth, especially here in California.
So clearly, the guy on the left is rock solid because no non-citizen would have such a nationalist view. So he's rock solid, but I think people are going to vote him off because they dislike him. Because these people are fucking stupid.
When I talk to people that are Mexican or Central American, I said, you know, it's funny when you're in your country, you're white. You cross that border, and now all of a sudden, you're Hispanic. I believe that she was the mole because of just that.
I honestly voted John out for strategy reasons. What the fuck? I felt so bad because I believed her, but I didn't know who to vote out, and I also thought I was on the chopping block.
At that point, I really felt as if everyone was a U.S. citizen, so Carolina was my only choice.
See, here's the thing, though, right? I can pick out a reason why I think this Syrian chick is non-citizen, but also Jian is like the halfy Asian guy.
Yeah,
he's just really quiet, and I feel like when you're trying to hide shit, you're just really quiet naturally.
Raise your hand if you would like to continue the game.
I swear.
What does that even mean? If you would like to continue the game,
so they can stop now.
No. Look, I understand that, right? But why is she the only one with her hand up? So clearly she thinks someone else is still a mole. Everyone else thinks that there's no mole still there.
Oh, that's kind of like, you know, when you play Avalon and,
and
everyone on the team agrees
that's
to the
exactly
mission,
what I'm saying, right?
That means there's a mole on the team.
Exactly, right? So the mole is always vote no. Because the mole always wants to end the game because he's in the game, right?
Yeah.
So, if anything, that chick is 100% safe now. Or it's Jian. It's the guy on the right. It's the guy.
If it's you, I'll see you outside. I'll see you outside.
If the lights turn green, you have voted the mole out, and you all win the game. If the lights turn red, the mole is still in the square, and you have lost.
Yeah.
It's red. It's red.
I'm ready to be surprised. Oh.
You?
Told you he was so quiet, man. He was.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay outside.
I'm sorry.
He was just like I said, he was just so quiet, and the fact that the chick voted to continue playing.
Yeah, you were solid on him when she voted to keep going.
Yeah.
You know the correct things to say before we went up.
Deductive
He was,
reasoning.
Like, being so nice and like, oh, we're in this together. Like, we're gonna get the mole. I trusted you.
As soon as I met them, I know that I had to manipulate them. I knew I had to lie to them.
Fuck off! You didn't manipulate them. You just sat there while everyone just hung themselves,
twiddled your fucking thumbs, while fucking two dickheads just like.
Oh, what are you? What are you? What are you? What are you?
Yeah, and the other one was like, what does it matter what I am? Huh? You got a problem?
Yeah.
You want to take this outside?
Sorry, guys. So, I am a Filipino citizen. I moved to America 3 years ago only for college. So, I'm here on a student visa. I really want to be a U.S. citizen. So, I'm hoping for that one day for it to be the real deal.
I can't believe it. Oh, I can believe it. I can. The nature of this game, to unfairly judge people. Being a U.S. citizen can look differently. It can sound different. Everybody can
Exactly.
Whether like your skin tone is lighter, darker, it's not related to your culture. It's not related to your language.
We all have different opinions. We all have different mindsets. Not everyone's gonna think like you or act like you. You just have to be empathetic, understanding of why they're like this, and just accept it.
I think I made an impact, and I don't think any of those people will ever forget about me.
So full of himself, even though he was just knocked out straight away.
I won't remember you until I listen to this podcast again next week.
Oh man!
When we get back from fucking Singapore.
Well, next episode, next video, and I believe it's Friendlyjordies time. Yay!
Alright, boys, it's lights out.
Oh, come on, sir.
No, if you don't go to bed now, there's no canoe tomorrow. Alright?
Hey, Goodsy, what? You want to smash Alice, don't you? Wouldn't say no. Hey, Goodsy, what? What about Samantha? Would definitely say no. Bro, have you seen a fucking face nasty cock eye. Fuck up, you Maz. I'm trying to get a boner thinking about Ben's mum and you fucking it up with all this Samantha chat. You couldn't get a boner thinking about Ben's mum because you're gay. Your mum's...
Fucking sick burns, man.
Gay. That make me smash you, Guernsey. I don't want to. But I will. Your Maz, if you don't shut up, I'm going to come in your toothpaste when you sleep. Give you a nice little white glow smile. Does every question in school camp have to be about sex? Oh, Jared, killed the vibe as always. Maybe that's why no one likes you, Jared. You heard Mr. Cooney. If you don't shut up, you don't get to go on the canoe. Fuck, I hope you go to jail one day, Jared. You get stabbed so hard in there. Yeah. As I'm done jizzing in Yilmaz's toothpaste, I'm going to shit right in your hair, Jared.
Boys, I can hear you in the other room.
Oh, why'd you wake us, sir? We were sleepy. I told you guys. Oh, that's it. You're getting shat on. If you do, I'll know it's you. Well, I'll shit in your mouth so you choke on my shit. Yeah, and I'll help out. Insurance dump.
Boys!
Oh, you woke me up again, sir. Alright, how much would you charge to fuck a Guernsey? Who? Samantha, you spaz. Oh. $1 million. Oh, shut up, Guernsey. Your standards are so low you do it for $2. I'd do your mum for $2. I'd do your mum for $2, but she pays me. Oh.
These sick birds, man.
Shut down, Guernsey. Yeah, that was mad call. Hey, I'll pay it. Hey, boys. You know what else would be mad? How good would it be if, like, 3 porn stars came in here right now and they sucked their dicks? I have never in my life heard a more redundant question, Yilmaz. So you agree, hey? Of course it would be mad, you fat, retarded Turkish cunt. Dude, it's just a question, you don't have to fucking shit yourself. Yeah, Ben, like, come on, Yilmaz is annoying, but he raises a good point. It would be mad. Please just go to sleep. Jared, if you don't shut the fuck up, not only will we shit in your mouth, we'll pay a necrophiliac to fuck your shit-riddled, worthless corpse. No, don't hire a necrophiliac, he'd just enjoy that. How would I even enjoy that? Dead.
Boys, if you don't shut up, there's no canoe tomorrow.
Oh, fuck. Go to sleep, boys, go to sleep. I don't give a shit, I want to go in the canoe, shut up. I don't want to. Sex life.
That's it. No canoe tomorrow.
Oh, sir, why are you punishing all of us when it was just fucking Jared?
Oh man, fucking school camp, man.
Oh, dude. Oh man, we used to get in so much fucking trouble at school camp, man. I remember once everyone fucking like started waking up around 5 o'clock, and some fucking people were getting out of bed and going to like fucking shower and shit.
Okay.
And I woke up and like everyone's walking past the front of the fucking like cabin. I'm just like, what the fuck's going on out there? It's still dark out. Fucking teachers came out of bed, come stomping down the halls. They were so fucking pissed off, man. They were so angry. Best part is, it's like, I really sympathize with the Jared character, or empathize with the Jared character, because I was like the goody two-shoes at school. And so, like, the troublemakers always, like, got me lumped into trouble with them.
Man. I remember that as well.
My worst experience, actually, at a school camp was that some fucking assholes played a prank on me when I got out of the shower. So, everyone's waiting for the shower. I said, oh, you can come in now, I'm just about done. Turned off the taps, fucking wrapped the towel around me, opened the door. Alright, you can take my one. Everyone standing at the front of it just went, oh, gross, ew, oh, what the fuck, did you shit in there? Oh my god, that's so disgusting. And then it was going around the whole fucking camp that I took a big steamy shit in the shower. And everyone just held that up against me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't shit in the shower, what's going on? One of the teachers pulled me aside and was like, "Look, Jack, I need to have a chat with you." And this is one of those teachers I never spoke to often.
Yeah.
Kind of knew who I was. It was like, just need to ask you, because there's a rumor going around the camp at the moment that you had a poo in the shower. And I was so dumb. Instead of saying, "No, fuck that, that's a lie, I did not do that, they're doing that just to fucking, like, mess with me or some shit,"
Yeah.
and, you know, so that I have this conversation with you, it did not happen. I was so dumb, I said to him, "I have no idea what happened. I just opened the door and there was just this rancid smell."
Oh my god.
And I remember I was arguing with one of the guys who was like, "Yeah, you took a shit in the shower, you're disgusting." I said, "No, hang on. You fucking wait a second. You were in the shower too, right? At the same time." He's like, "Yeah. Did you see a fucking shit?" Because they were all
like,
linked up in a way that
the water drips along the thing. But
along the whole lot of them.
Yeah,
I said, "Did you see a fucking turd go down the fucking water trench while you were taking your shower?" He's like, "Yeah, I did." And I'm like, turds... like, no fucking turd is going to hit the ground and then go...
Yeah, right?
Like, it's one of those things at school where you can just come at people with just, like, logic and reasoning.
But people lie. People lie, man. Like,
and I'm looking back now, I'm like, oh my god, they fucking stooged me so hard.
Dude.
But I was so stupid that I kind of defended them.
The thing is,
when
like,
they were fucking screwing me like that.
When you're a kid, you still haven't really figured out the way to advocate and speak on your own behalf to clarify that it wasn't you or anything, right? And yeah, it's like, even when by the time you're still a teenager, a lot of people still haven't kind of figured that shit out, right? So, like, you'll get, like, thrown on the bus with a lot of shit, and a lot of kids just aren't brave enough, especially because there's such a huge power dynamic between a teacher and a student, where, like, a student just gets, like, intimidated or afraid because they're just, like, being spoken to by a teacher. And, like, they'll seem nervous or guilty, even though clearly they didn't fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that fucking I hate about school, man.
Funny thing is, the camp prior to that one, like, the boys were all in the showers and we're all talking shit. I actually shouted out, while we were all showering, talking shit, fucking around, I shouted out, "I'm peeing in the shower!" And everyone got so fucking grossed out, but they didn't know it was me. They thought it was some other fucking kid, and he copped all the shit for it. Real hard.
Then that's the fucking karma, then.
And I remember they said to him, "Bro, that's your fucking shower now. You're the only one who uses that one. We don't want to go in your piss shower." Like, he copped it so bad. And I felt so bad for him, but I never fessed up.
Alright, next Friendlyjordies video is, horrifying meme onslaught.
Round 2 of Friendlyjordies' audience versus his own personal self-esteem.
If you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch that first. It is really important to be up to date with someone going, "Yeah, that meme's good. That one's shit." Good meme. But this is part 2, just a small sample size of the memes that I received from my audience when I asked them to
Okay.
kind of me. So, I think this is one of those rare instances where even people that hate me will like one of my videos. Click the like button, haters. Alright, let's get down to business, which ironically is the bane of everyone else's businesses, which is bosses walking past going, "Hey, are you looking at memes?" That is our entire company's business model. Really, if that corporation was ours, it'd go, "Aha, gotcha, look at the annual reports. Get back to work." I'm trying to keep your door down, Australia. I don't want to alarm you, but there may be a Liberal government in power. And that is the posture I think should be utilised for every political video I have, just this. And the ATO sort of knew the Crown Casino might not be paying the adequate amount of tax that it should be. Anybody, did you?
How does he keep up to date with all this shit, man? Like, yeah.
Gave a fair and balanced list out of an interview with a Labour politician last night, Friendlyjordies. Nope, not this time. Pure fiction.
I don't get that
Who
one.
is that guy? Is he a
Yeah.
physicist or a magician? When Jordies doesn't want to get a war tattoo, Matt. I volunteer as tribute. That is Matt. When I first watched Hunger Games, I was like, did Matt have a sex change? This machine kills fascists. I think I've just extended my life by a year from that one meme. Thanks, man. Okay, let's compromise. And you get me, and you can get Matt. I'm mean, it's sort of a meme. Jordan, his entire audience, Warhammer vids. Why is Warhammer so funny? We honestly thought this would be like when you collected Tarzos as a 6-year-old for 2 months. Except, it never ends. It just keeps getting more and more popular. We have found that perpetual motion actually exists. The loudest sounds on Earth. Concert speakers, fireworks, gunfire, blue whale. Oh, I didn't know they were that loud. I learn something new every day. Make you learn good. Space Shuttle Jordan Shanks says, the Liberal government. Retired. Yeah, that's one fine looking. It is. It's hillbilly art. Australians are just British Texans. Change my mind. Oh, he's got the little hat and everything. I love these little Disney Adventures videos of people sending in stuff and going, thank you. Perfection. Chronicles of Yulmaz Volume 11. I'll get around to doing part 2 of that. Shut up. Been saying that for 3 years. Sure. That is so scary. Matt, remind me to do this. We will go to that costume shop in Alexandria. We'll buy Marge Simpson's wig and do an entire political video dressed as Marge. Dressing stupidly in a serious video always goes out really well, particularly those on nuclear power. Audience lose interest. The liberal government. I think that's pretty much it. The whole secret behind that catchphrase is, it's loud. That's it. This has been pointed out in 2 consecutive memes from different people. It's a fact. Reviewing car parks and buying Warhammer. Insightful. Eternal struggle. Top 20 Simpsons impersonations. Jordan's viewers. Videos containing deep intellectual political discourse. If Warhammer was Australian. Vince McMahon. If there's a more hilarious person on Earth, it's best that the world doesn't know about it. People die in fits of laughter en masse. September Massacres of 1787. September Massacres of 2018. This is why the project is filth. You know what we were thinking about the other day? This is one of those never-ending philosophical questions that you can just debate for eons. One that started in ancient Greece, 2,000 years later, people are still asking it. Is it physically possible for the project to be even 0.01% less shit? Jordan, wanting to live, telling everyone Gough Whitlam was actually ousted by the CIA. I mean, that's just on public record, folks. I don't have any supplements to sell, but I do have Liberal government t-shirts coming out. Tinder, it's a match. And it is. I would suck Chomsky off my ass. Really. For the greater good. Jordan, I don't understand British politics. Also, Jordan, 2 videos about British politics telling about it phone. You know what's really funny? That was also one of my most successful videos ever, and all the comments were people just going like, yes, very insightful analysis. Small Man Productions presents man trying to teach people about tax evasion and environmental destruction.
Maggie hitting the nuts by football.
It is a match made in heaven. Trying to teach people about the slow, gradual, almost certain destruction of this planet and the fate of the 40k universe still lies in the balance. Wigs, self-help, The Simpsons, Gnome Chomsky. They have my recipe down. This guy has my number. Friendlyjordies is like when you forced your mum to taste something you made when you were 7, babe. Well, that may be there. They've thrown everything at me. Still here. That's right. I can still take you with one arm.
I don't know who that is.
Image. It would suit Sally McManus more if she had a missing arm. The Liberal government. It would be better if, when the seagull is flexing back, he's going, Yulmaz, just to power up. For the amount of energy that needs to be expelled to yell, the Liberal government. Man.
You reckon he does that voice every time, or is it just a sound clip that he just like copies and pastes in now?
It sounds... He's got it to a point where it sounds exactly the same every time he does it.
Yeah.
Profit over that, aren't you? 3 Liberal governments in one video. You better like that shit. Spell Labour wrong one more time. Well, it's fucking annoying! There's no... Friendlyjordies randomly yelling. Me with earphones on. So many comments of that of people going, I'm on the bus, my ears hurt. His mouth when he sees 2 is extra dry.
Do you get that one?
No.
Yeah, keep playing.
My mouth is a worm.
Oh.
2 is extra dry. Well, the first was an entree, that was the main course. If you want a delicious dessert for the meme reviews of myself, send us more memes in the Facebook inbox. And hey, who knows, Matt might credit you. But with a strike rate of 0%, I think you should be pretty optimistic about your chances. But if you want a dessert, because though fat and rich, there needs to be a fat amount of laughs. A naughty yellow. That type that makes your mum go, I said I wouldn't, but I'm gonna have to. So he's about 17,000 likes. So if I haven't made this clear enough, devour that like button. Wow. Meringue.
Alright. And upcoming, we have Infomercial of the Week. Oh, man.
Am I ready?
I've kind of forgot what it was.
I'm ready to be surprised.
But, for some diversity, it's not some shitty female product, if I recall correctly. Oh, yes!
iPhone or digital video player, then you need TV Hat. Private, portable, and hands-free. TV Hat provides a motion picture experience absolutely anywhere.
How does this thing work?
Alright, so first off, put these earbuds in.
Okay.
Alright, and I'm going to take this player and slip it right in the pouch at the front of the bill.
What the
Put on
fuck?
the TV Hat,
It's like a tiny iPod
and then last, you
color or some
slide
shit.
down the custom lens.
Oh, wow.
Right?
This is so cool.
It's a great product. Man, I don't know, it looks kind of weird.
He's the only honest person in this ad. I don't know, it looks kind of weird.
This is awesome. Man, alright, let me try. No, get thrown.
My kids would love this. My husband would love this.
Call the number on your
It's like, forget about having sex. It's like,
the custom magnification
Oh,
lens provides
so-
a big screen
Oh my
experience
God.
straight
No,
from
it
your own
doesn't.
iPod, iPhone, or digital video player. Getting through a long commute? You need TV Hat.
Yeah, right.
Stuck in an airport? Time flies with TV Hat. Watch what you want on your lunch break. Only
you're sitting in front of a fucking screen, man.
with TV Hat. Want to watch the game while the kids watch cartoons? You need TV
That's
Hat.
very responsible.
The unique shades eliminate glare on your screen and ensure a private viewing experience all your own. Order your own TV Hat or visor in red, white, blue, khaki, or camo. TV Hat is the perfect exercise companion.
This is so dangerous. Like, if you're on a treadmill and you got that shit on, like, you could just so easily lose your balance or stack it, man. And then you're fucked.
Hat is durable and portable. Great for taking on the road. And when used with your
Oh,
iPod
shit.
or iPhone, TV Hat
VR.
is an exciting virtual reality gaming experience. Private, portable, and hands-free.
Oh
TV
my
Hat is the video
God.
viewing gear to get you in
Bruh,
the picture.
they wanted more money
Visit
for my fucking weed hat.
tvhat.com or
Look how long the cap part is as well. It's supposed to look like a baseball cap.
price of $19.95. Buy a second TV Hat.
Oh my
and shipping and
God.
handling is free. Order now.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I don't know what can be said about such a retarded product.
Not as good as the previous ones. Like I said, I think number 9 was the best, but
I don't know, man. Like, it didn't upset me as much as the fucking hands-free phone device, but
it's pretty dumb product, man.
that is so dumb. Oh, that makes... I don't even want to say anything about it, because anything I could say about how stupid it is just so obvious.
Yeah, man.
I
Well,
don't want to take the low-hanging fruit. I just want it to go away. Slipping this one out.
Seems like we've had a long episode. I think it's almost 3 hour. Like, it's in the 3 hour range, so
Yeah,
definitely gonna have to edit and or cut it, or definitely chop it up for future clips and shit. But I guess that's it for episode 10 of the Super Sellout podcast.
Ibombe.
Wakanda forever!